When this young man suddenly opened his eyes, the first thing he saw was his teacher, Mr. Vuong, looking furious and calling his name. It took a while for the angel to adjust to this situation, and when he realized what was happening, he was so shocked that he jumped up because he was back in his high school classroom. At first, he thought he was dreaming. Everything continued to unfold smoothly, making him truly doubt the experiences of the last 15 apocalypses. Was it just a nightmare? But the painful events that had occurred were deeply etched in his mind, reminding the angel that it was all real, and even though he didn't know why, he had truly been reborn. The moment he returned was during high school, when the pandemic hadn't yet destroyed this world. After waiting forever for class to end, the angel rushed to the bathroom like a bat out of hell. He splashed cold water on his face to wake himself up, and when he looked in the mirror, he couldn't help but mumble, "I looked so scrawny 15 years ago. The scars on my face are all gone now." Well, it makes sense. After all, the pandemic hadn't destroyed the earth yet, and he was just an ordinary high school student. Just thinking about that pandemic, the angel's mood plummeted. He almost forgot that he had to stop it. This time, he would definitely wipe out all those infected. The more he thought about the infection, the more the angel couldn't control his emotions. He vented by punching the mirror in front of him, shattering it into pieces. Right after that, the angel heard a voice that was both strange and familiar, startled calling out from behind him, "What happened to you, angel?" The voice startled him, and without thinking, the angel immediately grabbed a shard of the broken mirror and pressed it against the throat of the voice's owner. But then his actions quickly stopped when he realized that the owner of the voice was his high school friend, Kwok, whose real name was Cao Fi. Cao Fi didn't even care about the angel's strange behavior and hurriedly pulled him out of the bathroom when he saw the deep wound on his friend's hand. He was so scared that his face turned pale, but since the angel refused to go to the hospital, Cao Fi could only help him with first aid, all the while grumbling and scolding. "What the hell happened to you? You almost scared me to death. Thank goodness you're not showing off. I've known how to bandage since I was a kid." While Cao Fi was focused on his task, the angel stared at his friend's face, almost not recognizing him. Even though he was his best friend from high school, it wasn't impossible to not recognize him after 15 years. In his previous life, he had lost him right after the outbreak of the pandemic. Thinking about that, the angel unconsciously said, "Afai, I will definitely help you survive." Cao Fi responded with a loud, "Huh." He felt like something was off about his friend today. First, he punched the mirror and held a shard to his throat, and now he was talking nonsense. But suddenly remembering something more important, Cao Fi didn't focus too much on this anymore. He asked, "By the way, have you confessed your feelings to Don Chow yet?" "Confessed?" the angel asked, bewildered. "Didn't you say you would confess to Don Chow on Valentine's Day?" "Valentine's Day?" The angel jumped up in shock. His first instinct was to stand up abruptly. "Today is definitely the day." Cao Fi seriously reminded Cao Fi, thinking that the angel was stressed because he forgot the confession day. But little did he know that right now he was gritting his teeth, because he was recalling the events that happened on this day. In the previous life, it was a wound that seemed never to heal for the angel. He still vividly remembers that day, when he had mustered all his courage to express his feelings to Duan Cho, only to have her tear the love letter apart in front of the whole class, loudly mocking him as a toad dreaming of eating swan meat. But the real reason he remembers this day so clearly, it's not just because he was rejected by the beauty, but because that day was also the day the pandemic broke out. Returning to the present situation, he saw the angel lost in thought for a long time. Cao Fi couldn't help but advise him, "Angel, listen, I advise you not to confess to Duan Cho. She won't even care about people like us." Before the angel could respond, Duan Cho's long legs came into their view. Right at that moment, he had already given the love letter to her. And now, she along with her two friends brought that passionate love letter to mock him. "Angel, did you write this cheesy thing? You should really find someone trashy like you to love instead." Duan Cho's words were indeed full of hurt, especially for someone pursuing her. However, the angel was now different from his previous life. Now he had no mood for love, especially not with someone like her. The angel took the letter from Duan Cho's hand, crumpled it, and said, "Duan Cho looking at you makes me want to throw up." His reaction completely caught Duan Cho off guard, making her a proud person grit her teeth in anger, looking at that beautiful yet wicked face. The angel thought to himself, "Does she think I'm blind or something? Why would I still like her? So many people lost their lives in the pandemic because of her, including him. Those were indeed events that had happened in the previous life. Because of that, in this life, the angel had to avoid Duan Cho like the plague. As for Cao Fi, he couldn't understand such depth. He just saw the angel suddenly snap out of Duan Cho's spell and couldn't help but praise him. Angel not bad at all. The angel seriously recalled the events of his previous life. At 2 p.m. on February 14, 2018, a meteorite crashed into the Earth's atmosphere, scattering fragments everywhere. And dispersing into the air was a virus for humanity. At first, those infected with this virus only fell unconscious. But shortly after, those who were not infected saw people gradually turning into monsters. Humanity stood up against the mutants and managed to push them back. But over time, these mutants evolved more and more. Eventually, the once prosperous world turned into a hell on Earth. At this moment, the clock struck 12:50 p.m., and the angel recounted the entire story of the apocalypse. Finally, the world of wealth has turned into a hell on Earth. Right now, the clock is striking 12:50 in the afternoon. The angel has told the entire story about the apocalypse. Cao Fi, you really thought he wouldn't believe you, huh? Are you writing a novel, Angel? Cao Fi shot you a disdainful look. Did you eat something weird today? Earlier you were cursing the class beauty, and now you're rambling about a pandemic. Angel was too lazy to explain. Anyway, explaining now wouldn't help. So you tossed your wallet to Kofi. Then you asked him to buy some cookies, chocolate cans, and a few energy drinks, saying you needed to eat like that to have the strength to write your apocalypse novel. At the same time, Angel reminded Kofi to call his parents and ask them to buy more medicine and supplies. You told him you'd meet up later at the abandoned factory. After saying that, Angel dashed off. Watching his hurried back, Cao Fi muttered helplessly, Do we really need to buy that much stuff? Is he planning to snack all night? Angel's parents had died in an accident before. Now, all you could do was hope Cao Fi would listen to you and call his parents to let them know to stock up on supplies. Angel ran as fast as he could. His destination was the boarding school, located by the lake near Shibe City. This was the safest place during the pandemic. In this boarding school, there were a few things that could help him survive. Moreover, inside the abandoned factory near the school, there were also some things that could be used as weapons. Since he had just reincarnated, Angel had only run a little and was already out of breath. Right. This high school boy's body was indeed weak. In the blink of an eye, it was already 1:30 in the afternoon. Angel found a crowbar. This was much easier to use than a knife or an axe. The infected in the early stages moved very slowly, so he just needed to keep his distance. And this factory would be a great shelter. Angel swung the crowbar in his hand a few times to get used to it. He promised himself he wouldn't make the same mistake again and had to meet her again. After waiting a bit, Angel noticed a few people had arrived. He saw the leader was Cao Fi, with a very sad expression on his face. Following him were Duan Cho and a few other tough-looking guys. Sorry, Angel, they followed me here. Cao Fi lowered his head and said, Lini, that bastard Angel rolled out here for me. How dare you insult my little Cho? Are you tired of living? Angel recognized the voice of this thug. The guy's name was Bui Jung. What a nuisance coming to his door. He had forgotten that in school, Duan Cho had a few crazy fans willing to do anything for her, like coming to settle the score with him like now. Don't even think about running away. I'll make sure you reunite with your grandparents soon. Bui Jung began to charge into the factory. If it were before, Angel definitely wouldn't dare to take risks. But with the apocalypse approaching, he didn't have time to argue with these bored idiots. So, before the opponent could attack, Angel rushed forward, swinging the crowbar straight at Bui Jung's head in front of everyone's astonished eyes. Get lost, he coldly spat out. Bui Jung took the full force of the crowbar and immediately collapsed. Cao Fi rushed over in worry while Angel remained unfazed and continued. All of you, especially you Duan Cho, get out of here or die. Angel's coldness really had an effect. Duan Cho and her group of fans had no choice but to retreat, even though no one understood why he suddenly changed his demeanor like that. Duan Cho clearly wasn't satisfied. On the way back, she kept blaming Bui Jung. Aren't you supposed to be good at fighting? Why are you so scared? Duan Cho was clearly not happy. On the way back, she kept blaming Bui Jung. Aren't you supposed to be good at fighting? Why are you so scared? Bui Jung had no strength left to impress the girls anymore. because just a moment ago the angel radiated an incredibly terrifying aura like a wild beast. Even if you gave him 10 lives, he wouldn't dare to do anything to you. Duan Cho still wanted to complain about something. But suddenly she and this group noticed a few stars, shooting across the sky in front of them just like shooting stars. And not just in China, at the same time in Japan, America, and many other countries, meteor showers were falling simultaneously. People in those countries were all enjoying the magnificent sight. The angel was particularly tense because only he knew that the apocalypse was truly coming. Cao Fi, of course, had no idea about that. He had started yawning repeatedly because the two of them had been cooped up all afternoon and they had been here almost all day. So he wanted to invite the angel to go to an internet cafe, but just then, the entire factory suddenly shook violently as if an earthquake had occurred. Cao Fi was so scared that he forgot about going to the internet cafe. This earthquake felt just like in his previous life, and the angel knew that in 20 hours the virus would be released into the air. Everyone would temporarily lose consciousness, and when they woke up, this world would turn into a hell on earth. Even though he already knew this beforehand, the angel still couldn't stop himself from falling into a deep sleep like everyone else. In his days, he dreamed of Tonya Quinn, the most important girl in his life. And in the dream, she had also turned into a mutant, just like so many others. The moment he saw Tonya Quinn's distorted face, the angel panicked and woke up from his dream. Cao Fi had just woken up as well. His first instinct was to check his phone, and then he was extremely panicked when he discovered it was already 10 a.m. They had slept for nearly a day. Oh no, we didn't go home all night. And today, we didn't go to school. We're definitely in trouble. Cao Fi was in a state of panic, but the angel wore a completely emotionless face at that moment. He calmly reassured Cao Fi that even if they didn't go to school, it wouldn't matter. Always, this attitude of the angel made him very concerned. Are you okay, angel? You've been acting like a different person since yesterday. The angel didn't have time to explain to the fool, because the reality would provide him with the answer. And the first horrifying event happened quickly when the door of the abandoned factory suddenly creaked open. That was quick, the angel remarked. Cao Fi followed his gaze. Then he opened his eyes wide in shock as he saw a creature covered in blood, its face twisted, moving slowly, clearly human, but not quite human. And thus the pandemic began to erupt. Leave this to me. Cao Fi confidently stepped forward, unaware that the creature in front of him could take his life, thinking it was just a strange uncle who got lost. So Kofi naively approached it, but behind him, the angel quietly gathered momentum. Then he suddenly lunged forward, blocking the zombie from Kofi, and next he drove a crowbar deep into the creature's neck. Fresh blood splattered everywhere, making Kofi widen his eyes in shock once again. He screamed, "Angel, what did you just do? Why did you take his life?" The angel wiped the blood off the crowbar and replied, "AFI rule number 1, never hesitate when dealing with zombies. Grab your stuff and follow me. I'll show you what hell looks like." Cao Fi's heart was still pounding in his chest from what just happened, but he tried to stay calm as he gathered his belongings and headed outside with the angel. And when the scene outside hit him, Cao Fi was truly shocked. It looked just like those horror movies about the apocalypse with a strange crowd. Just like the chubby uncle from the factory earlier. They were frantically tearing apart their own kind. Cao Fi heard desperate cries mixed with the screams and gnawing of the mutated people. Then a few living corpses spotted the angel and Cao Fi as they appeared. They quickly charged at them. Cao Fi, lacking combat experience, didn't know how to react. Luckily, the angel was already used to this and took down another zombie. "Be careful, don't let them bite you," the angel shouted while Cao Fi was still in shock. He suddenly realized that everything the angel said yesterday had come true. The world had truly turned into hell because of the zombie virus. Soon after, Cao Fi heard a loud scream, "A Kiet Min, don't come over here!" The two turned around to see Duan Cho and Bui Jung holding hands, running like they were being chased by ghosts, specifically being pursued by two zombies. Bui Jung was still determined to protect his goddess, so he repeatedly swung a baseball bat at the zombies chasing them. "Aren't those Duan Cho's people? Have they been infected?" Cao Fi asked, but the angel didn't have time to worry about these unruly people. Right now, they had to focus on their own safety. Just then, Duan Cho was running frantically when she stupidly tripped over a rock and fell. Right after that, a zombie grabbed her. She could only scream desperately, "Someone, please save me!" In that urgent moment, the angel had to rush in, swinging the crowbar to save her. He just didn't want to see anyone else turn not out of any feelings. Then the angel pulled Cao Fi along, leaving Duan Cho sitting there. Her whole body was still trembling with fear as she stared at the zombie in front of her. Suddenly, she stood up and clung to the angel. "Let me go with you." The angel found her a hassle, but knew that Duan Cho wouldn't leave, even if he chased her away. So he reluctantly ignored her. He and Cao Fi moved forward, clearing the way, and finally found a clean classroom without zombies, where they temporarily hid to regain their strength. The angel told Cao Fi to conserve his energy, and together they looked for a chance to leave this place. Right now, his body was still too weak to hold out against the zombies for long. If they wanted to survive, the angel needed to quickly regain his strength, like in his previous life. Duan Cho stubbornly followed him, dragging along Fan and Bui Jung. At this moment, she was continuously shouting, "What do we do now? Someone must have called the police by now. Why haven't they arrived yet?" This girl was of no help, and now was making noise which frustrated the angel. He shouted, "Duan Cho, shut up!" Duan Cho immediately fell silent. But Bui Jung couldn't stand seeing his goddess being scolded like that. He pointed a finger at the angel and shouted back, "You've crossed the line. Duan Cho is just a weak girl." It was precisely because of that action. That's why the angel noticed that the guy's wrist had a deep cut still bleeding profusely. "That must hurt a lot, huh?" you suddenly asked. "Just a little, the wound isn't that big." Bui Jung replied. At that moment, he still didn't realize he was about to meet his end. "Old man," the angel continued, "do you know that those infected for the first time got the virus from a meteorite? The other time was from being bitten by them." "Infected?" Cao Fi asked, puzzled, because no one knew about this information yet. The angel began to explain in more detail about the new virus spreading. It's known as Ebola. The Ebola virus only affects humans, and it usually spreads through the air, water, and contact. There's only a 70% chance the virus can spread through the air, while it definitely spreads through direct contact. In other words, once bitten by them, you'll definitely become one of them. When the angel got to this point, Duan Cho turned to Bui Jung, then shot him a look filled with fear. Bui Jung, on the other hand, couldn't accept this truth. He yelled, "What the hell are you talking about? You've been watching too many horror movies." Bui Jung couldn't even dream that he was the one who time-traveled from 15 years later. Therefore, the information the angel shared was exactly 100% true. Saying this, he picked up a crowbar and slowly approached. Because Bui Jung would transform in 10 minutes, there was no way to save him. So, the angel had to end him before it was too late. "Do you want me to help you go peacefully? At least you can leave as a human." Sensing the killing intent in the angel's words, the guy raised his bat while continuously backing away. "Don't come any closer." Of course, Bui Jung wanted to live, but the truth had proven that what he said was true, as he was starting to show clear signs of transformation. Now his wound didn't hurt at all, and Bui Jung himself could clearly see this. When he looked at his hand, a wave of fear and despair washed over him. Bui Jung wanted to plead for some mercy from Duan Cho. He wanted to say that he absolutely wouldn't harm her. But in response to that sincerity, Duan Cho coldly shouted, "Get away from me!" The angel and Cao Fi were no strangers to Duan Cho's quick change of heart. Even though that guy was bitten by a zombie and was now transforming, it was still to protect her. Just then, a loud crash suddenly erupted in the schoolyard. Cao Fi and the angel peeked out to observe. They discovered the principal's car had crashed. It seemed the sound was from him losing control and crashing into the wall while trying to escape, but this was actually a good opportunity for them, because most of the zombies were gathered around the principal's car. The angel frowned and said, "In a few minutes you'll turn into a walking pile of rotten meat. If you let me help you pass on, it would be easier." The guy, scared, stammered, I... He panicked and tightened his grip on the bat. "Don't you dare trick me. I'm still fine." You just coldly watched him waiting for the next move. Someone called from behind, "Afai, let's go." Duan Cho, frightened, pleaded, "Cho, no. Angel brother, don't leave me behind." Nam Min stepped forward tightly, holding her hand, and called, "Tu Cho." This guy was trembling with fear, stuttering. He gripped his stick tightly, panicking. "You damn dog, don't try to fool me. I'm still fine." You just coldly looked at him, waiting for the next move. Someone called from behind, "Afai, let's go." Duan Cho panicked and pleaded, "Please, Cho, no, angel brother, don't leave me behind." Nam, Min stepped forward, holding her hand tightly, calling out, "Tiu Cho." Duan Cho recoiled, pulling her hand away. "Let me go, you jerk." "Don't be scared. I won't hurt you. I just want to talk. If I really die, then—" Duan Cho swiftly slashed the paper cutter across Bui Jung's face. She stepped back. "If you want to die, then do it alone." The guy stood there stunned by the actions of the one he cared for. Meanwhile, Duan Cho hurried after them. "Wait for me." Bui Jung's hand reached out into the air. Then he withdrew it in disappointment. He stood frozen in place, speechless. The group hurriedly left. Outside, the zombies were going crazy. The infected hadn't evolved yet, and the angel seized the opportunity to attack one. So we just need to chop off their heads or necks. That way we can kill them. At that moment, a zombie approached Cao Fi. He was terrified, gripping the axe tightly. The angel reminded him not to hesitate. Either they die or we do. So, the axe came crashing down onto the zombie's head. Cao Fi carefully struck a few more times. Blood splattered everywhere. The zombie fell back motionless while the axe was still dripping with fresh blood. Only then did Cao Fi let out a sigh of relief. "I did it." Behind him, Duan Cho rushed over, calling out to Cao Fi. The angel was waiting for him, running for his life. When he saw him, he said, "Don't scare me like that. I thought you guys had left me behind." But when she saw the angel's weapon aimed at her face, she was speechless. He coldly demanded, "Why are you following us?" She tried to appear pitiful. "Cao Fi, please don't leave me alone." Cao Fi whispered to the angel, "Come on, we're the good guys. She's still our classmate." He gave her a suspicious look. Then he turned and walked away. "We don't have time to deal with you. If you want to stick around, you have to listen to us. Got it?" Duan Cho's face darkened behind them, watching their backs as they walked away. Outside, there were quite a few zombies gathering. They hid behind the bushes. Cao Fi quietly exchanged ideas. "Now we charge out there, break the gate, and then escape." He opposed, saying it was too risky. The infected were attracted by sound. "So I'll sneak into the school's broadcasting room and lure the infected there. Then we'll escape. That's the plan." Cao Fi worriedly asked, "What about you?" He nonchalantly replied, "Don't worry about me." He silently prayed for his friend to be safe. The angel then noticed the girl trembling behind him. "Are you okay?" Duan Cho pulled her collar down, trying to appear alluring. "Honestly, thank you. If it weren't for you, the angel might have left me behind." In her heart, she held a grudge against the angel. "Just wait. I'll teach you a lesson for insulting me, starting with your brother." Duan Cho rushed to hug Cao Fi. "I'll be counting on you from now on." Cao Fi felt awkward as she clung to him while she began to badmouth him. "I'm really scared of the angel. He just screams and fights all day." "Cao Fi, you're a good man. You should be careful of the angel." She secretly prayed for them to be separated from the angel. "How can you escape my charm? I don't think so." But Cao Fi wasn't fooled and gratefully said, "I really feel lucky. I'm alive thanks to the angel." Cao Fi chuckled. "You're right, I am a good man." "But you're also very clear-headed and handsome," he exclaimed. "I'm not into girls, so don't talk bad about the angel behind his back." Duan Cho felt extremely annoyed upon hearing that. "I'm so pissed off right now." Inside the school, the angel grabbed the attention of the zombies by throwing an empty Coke can. The zombies, who were chewing noisily, suddenly stopped. They all turned to look at the source of the sound, which was the can. They stood up and ran towards it. The angel hid behind a wall at the corner, assessing the situation outside. Dealing with these guys wasn't a big deal now. The angel sneaked into the broadcasting room. Figuring out how to use the equipment inside was a big problem for him. How do I get this speaker to work? Just as he was focused, a zombie appeared behind him. The angel turned around alert. "Who's there?" It opened its mouth and lunged at him. He grabbed the zombie's neck tightly. It struggled violently. The angel felt its strength was too much. This one must be evolving. I can't believe they got here so fast. But I can't die here. During the struggle, he glanced around to see if there was anything he could use. Next to the zombie was a metal rod. The angel reached for it. Just as its growling was right next to his face, he managed to grab the rod. Then the angel used all his strength to stab it into the zombie's head. Its body slowly fell backward and thudded to the ground. He was panting heavily after the ordeal. I can't believe there was a monster in the broadcasting room. Damn it, an evolving freak has turned into this. The angel looked at the speaker system and saw a photo. He picked it up. It was a picture of a girl with her lover. It seemed only this girl was infected. She must be the school's announcer. She's pretty, huh? Looking at the unfinished scarf, the angel guessed she was probably knitting it as a gift for her boyfriend for Valentine's Day. What a shame! The speaker successfully blared to life. It's time for the students' exercise. All students are required to gather in the schoolyard. Hello, hello, 1, 2, 3. The zombies rushed towards the speaker pole, scratching and clawing. Yelling Gao Fi outside was moving stealthily. The angel succeeded. Hurry, they're at the school gate, but the door is locked. He urged. Hurry up. A swing of the axe brought down the lock. The metal scraps clattered to the ground as the gate opened, and both stepped outside. Gao Fi stopped. Wait, the angel isn't out yet. Don Chow, ungrateful, said, let him be. If we don't hurry, what if the monsters come? But there's a bus coming. Turning back, the teacher shouted for them, you two get on the bus. Don Chow, anxious, urged Gao Fi, why are you still standing there? He was very chivalrous and wouldn't abandon his friends. I'm waiting for the angel. This action in Don Chow's eyes became a nuisance. The teacher got off the bus and called out Gao Fi from class 2, right? Hurry up and get on. He replied, the angel hasn't returned. I'm not going anywhere. That girl reported to the teacher that the angel is a murderer. I saw him kill another student with my own eyes. The teacher was shocked. What did you say? Don Chow smirked, advising we should just leave him and close the gate. If the monsters escape, it won't be good. The teacher agreed, saying, that's right. We need to leave here quickly, students. Gao Fi, don't be stubborn. Get on the bus. Sarcastically, Don Chow asked Gao Fi, are you still waiting for the angel? Truly a good brother. Then let's die together. Coldly, Chow Fi said, so you finally showed your true colors, huh, Duan Cho? That girl really knows how to curse like a sailor. Gao Fi radiated a menacing aura, pointing the axe at them, threatening, shut that mouth. Anyone who dares to close it, I'll kill. Dan Tro scowled, letting out a cold huff, while the other two teachers stood their mouths agape. Who would have thought students could pull off something like this? The classmates inside whispered among themselves, what's going on? Who's that guy? What's that guy up to? Gao Fi maintained his icy demeanor, guarding the place. The bus drove away, leaving them behind. We'll come back for you later. There's no time left. We need to get to the city. He pressed his lips together, showing no emotion. Gao Fi, furious, shouted, I really did it. But he didn't know that a zombie was approaching from behind. It grabbed the collar of Gao Fi's shirt and yanked him back. He hadn't even had time to react. The grotesque face of the zombie was right up close. It pinned Gao Fi down to avoid being bitten. He struggled to block its face with the axe, his voice filled with rage. You bastard! The strength of this zombie was overwhelming. Gao Fi felt that at this rate, he wouldn't be able to hold on much longer. Damn it! I haven't even tasted a woman's scent yet. I can't just die like this. Suddenly, the zombie's head was chopped off, leaving him in shock. Blood gushed from its neck. The angel raised a hand toward his friend, asking, can you get up? Fi, hearing him recount the story, concluded, not getting on the bus isn't so bad. If there are infected people on it, it's even more dangerous. The angel curiously asked, are you guys heading to the city? I'm just not fond of Duan Cho. She's a filthy woman, he interrupted. Now, we need to find a place to rest. If we get on the bus, I'm afraid you won't come back in one piece. The angel recalled his past life on the bus. There was a guy who got infected and transformed, causing the bus to crash into a pole. Luckily, everyone managed to escape. But because of that, the infected were attracted and swarmed in. They rushed down the street, frantically banging on the doors of a house. Someone's out there. Hurry, open the door. But Duan Cho inside ordered, close it. Save yourselves first. Forget about them. The door slammed shut. Gao Fi reassured, it's okay. They'll open the door eventually. But his hands were already marked with veins. Gao Fi, tears streaming down his face, exclaimed, it hurts so much. I can't run anymore. Angel, hurry and hide. In that moment, witnessing his friend about to transform, he froze. The angel thought, and at that moment I left him behind to run away alone. Now Gao Fi called out to the angel, what are you doing? I'm eating. I know a great place to rest. He handed him a pack of food. Come here. The angel took it, swearing to himself that in this new life he wouldn't lose anything again. Looking at the place Gao Fi led him to, he was surprised. Is this your place, Gao Fi? This is a shop owned by a relative of mine. He gave me a spare key. They pulled the door open. The angel reminded him to close it. I'll scout inside. After securing the door, Cao Fi took out his phone. He asked, "What do you want to do now?" He replied, "I want to find my parents first. My phone isn't working." The angel added, "Your parents are in Day District, right? I was planning to go there too. But first, I need to find a few people." Cao Fi looked confused. "Don't tell me you're excited. Do you have a girlfriend?" "Good buddy, after this, set me up with a few girls, okay?" The angel felt helpless because of his friend. "You're really optimistic." In the dark, a loud banging echoed as the zombies outside frantically smashed against the door, forcing both of them to sit still inside. Worried, the angel reassured her, "Don't worry for now, they haven't broken through the door. Now I'm going to teach you a few things. In fact, the type of virus that those monsters have infected humanity with. We've had it for a long time. But when stimulated by the virus from the meteorite, we mutated. Most infected people turned into monsters because their bodies couldn't withstand the virus. However, there are still a few humans who can resist it, even control it. At that point, their bodies will evolve beyond human limits, even resisting the virus." Cao Fi suspiciously asked the angel, "How do you know all this?" "Just follow my lead, don't sweat the details. Quickly do as I say. I'll teach you how to speed up your evolution. Breathe evenly. First, you must control the virus in your body. Keep this position and calmly control your body. If you feel changes in your body, don't panic. That's because the virus hidden in your body needs to be controlled. The virus will accumulate and show up in a specific area of your body. That's the spot that will help you evolve." The angel thought for a moment. Just like in the previous life, the palm of his hand was the evolution point. Most of the time, when evolving, it would be at this point a low-level evolution. Although every aspect of the body is enhanced, it's only at an average level. To put it bluntly, it's pathetic. But it's not completely useless. I've done my research. This method maximizes the evolution potential. At the moment of life and death, with the knowledge from my previous life, I don't believe I will fail again, even if I'm pathetic. But heaven has given me an advantage that no one else has. That is the combat experience from 15 years in this hell. The angel dreamed about his previous life in the city center. He pulled Nguyen across the street, but she carelessly tripped. He worriedly asked, "Are you okay?" "Bad news is coming. You must have sprained your ankle." The angel panicked, looking at the zombies, craving for flesh. Behind him, he carried her, saying, "Don't worry, I'll carry you." Nguyen hesitated. "Just leave me and run." "Huyen, if I were alone, I would definitely escape." The angel tried his best. "Don't say that, no matter what you must live." He carried her, running forward, but what lay ahead left the angel stunned. The bridge had broken in the middle. He cursed, "Damn it! This part of the bridge wouldn't hold against the horde of zombies rushing from behind." The angel swore, "I'm in a dead end now." Nguyen pleaded, "Angel, please put me down." He swore there must be a way. "I will take you with me." He braced his feet firmly on the ground. Then he took a leap, finally reaching the middle of the bridge on the other side. But Nguyen's body fell backward. He stood firm and safe. Just then she fell. The angel turned around in shock, his hand reaching out to grab her, but it was too late. Nguyen fell into the river at an incredibly fast speed. He shouted in despair, "Huyen, Huyen, no Huyen!" Waking up from the nightmare, the angel was panting heavily. Cao Fi was holding him tightly, grinning. "They said not to do that." He disgustedly yelled, "Get out of here, you damn pervert!" Cao Fi groggily sat up. "What time is it?" The angel was still fuming. "Next time, don't even think about sleeping with me." A new day began, and seeing him packing, she asked, "Angel, do you really have to go?" The angel replied, "She's very important to me." Cao Fi could only trust and support him. "You must bring her back." "Okay." He confidently replied, "What do you need me to say?" As soon as they stepped outside to check, they realized there didn't seem to be a single infected person around. The angel hopped on the motorcycle and started the engine. Then he carefully reminded Cao Fi, "You should be really cautious at home." "I won't open the door for anyone outside. No matter what, I won't open it." He felt warm inside but kept a tough exterior. "I'm not a kid. I don't need you to remind me." The motorcycle roared to life. Cao Fi advised him to go early and come back early. The angel had a serious expression as he twisted the throttle, speeding out. Cao Fi was genuinely worried. "You must come back safely, Angel." While speeding down the road, he suddenly realized he hadn't told Chao Fi that the person he was looking for was his soulmate, Huyen Huyen. She was the most important person to him, but now they were just two strangers. They had never met. The motorcycle sped onto the main road, and the angel stopped at a shop by the roadside. He rubbed his sore neck, realizing he had forgotten the way. After all, he hadn't been here since he was 15. While he was complaining, a can rolled towards him. The angel noticed it, and suddenly 2 zombies charged at him. He coldly drew his weapon. "These trash are in my way." Then the angel swung, decapitating them. "Get lost." In no time, he had taken care of the 2. He looked around. There were indeed many infected here. Some people were still alive. Behind him, 2 sisters La Lam and her younger sister were huddled together in the car. Outside, zombies were smashing against the vehicle. "Don't be scared, we'll be fine," she said from inside the car. They were pale with fear as they saw the zombies outside. The car window had been shattered, and a zombie was half inside the vehicle. The angel grabbed a brick from the roadside and threw it at the zombies. "Get away, you 2. They were stunned to see a young man blocking their way as the zombies advanced towards their car. The angel turned and kicked the zombie away. Both zombies were sent flying. The little girl Tuit admired him. "Wow, he's amazing." The remaining zombies were swiftly dealt with by the angel. La Tuit peered out from inside, praising him. "You're so impressive." Meanwhile, he felt like his reflexes were sharper. His strength and speed had increased a bit. After all, he had evolved earlier and faster than others. Even if it was just a low-level evolution, his current power was incredibly formidable. Now he was different from ordinary people. Looking at the few stubborn zombies left, the angel shouted, "Come here." Moments later, the ground was soaked with fresh blood. He had neatly taken care of the zombies. The angel was panting heavily. La Lam gratefully said, "Thank you so much." The angel reminded her, "No need for thanks right now. This place isn't safe anymore. We should hide." She was surprised. "Hide." He revealed, "There's a convenience store ahead that's pretty safe. Quickly take this girl there to hide." La Lam was worried. "What about you?" He reassured her, "Don't worry, I'll follow." She was still hesitant, but finally made a decision. "Let's go." La Tuyette replied, "But what about my little Tet?" She reminded him, "Forget about it. First, we need to keep ourselves safe." The angel carefully poured gasoline into the car. He realized that all his abilities were becoming lighter and more agile, probably due to the early stage of evolution. Even though it was just a small change, he could still feel it. The angel knew a large number of zombies were approaching. The 2 sisters returned to the store. La Tuyette was worried about whether her brother was safe. She replied, "I don't know either." La Lam anxiously looked outside. She instructed her sister, "Stay here. I'll go check inside." La Tuyette whined, "I want to go with you." La Lam warned, "Then you have to stick close to me. Don't wander off, okay?" Outside, the zombies were charging in. He scoffed coldly. The cigarette in his mouth was smoking. The angel flicked the cigarette butt onto the oil-soaked ground. An earth-shattering explosion erupted, turning the zombies into minced meat. In the face of this scene, he remained calm. When La Lam arrived with a cleaver in hand, she was astonished. "Who on earth are you?" The angel frowned, displeased to see them daring to go outside. "Didn't I tell you all to stay put in the convenience store?" They went back to the store. "You asked if that girl was your mother." The girl denied it, saying she wasn't her sister. The angel gave it to La Tuyette. "And your stuffed bear, I saw it in the trunk of the car." The girl exclaimed happily, "That's great." "Thanks, big brother." "You can just speak freely. No need to be polite." Then the angel opened the bottle of water and gulped it down to quench her thirst. La Tuyette saw this and asked softly, "Do you think my sister is beautiful?" You could say, "She's a beauty." You choked on your water when you heard the next line. "Then I guess I'll come back to be your brother-in-law." "My sister still doesn't have a boyfriend." The angel, with a childish tone, said, "Don't talk nonsense." When she filled a backpack, La Lam felt uneasy. "Aren't we supposed to return these?" "We haven't paid for them yet." "How can we just take them?" The angel reminded, "The world has changed, miss. If we don't take them, someone else will. Why should we torture ourselves?" After hearing this, she sighed. "Maybe you're right. The world has changed. Just a few days ago, I was still a teacher, and now..." This news surprised you. "You're a teacher. Is it at a girls' school called Not Tin?" La Lam confirmed, "Yes, I am a teacher there." The angel quickly shook her, asking, "Do you know anyone named Huyen Huyen?" She looked a bit awkward. But could you please take your hands off me first? After hearing that you were stunned for a moment, I'm really sorry. Lalam revealed, I know Huyen. I'm her teacher. Do you know her? The angel replied, I guess you could say we're friends. She thought to herself, actually, I don't know Huyen right now, and she doesn't know me either. She reassured, if you're looking for Huyen, I think she's at school. That day I finished my classes early and went home while the students stayed back to study. Don't worry too much. Huyen is a smart student. I'm sure she's still alive. The angel remained sad and silent. Lalam speculated, for a woman, you've gone through so many dangers. Could it be that they're in love? She stared at your lonely back, then suddenly placed a kiss on the angel's cheek. Thinking it probably wasn't anything serious, you covered your cheek, blushing. What are you doing? Lalam smiled brightly, saying, this is a kiss to thank you for saving us. Now we don't need your help anymore. You can go do your own thing. Latuyette's expression changed upon hearing this. The little girl shouted, no way, can't we follow him? He's really capable. Isn't he supposed to protect us? I'm sure he'll protect you too. Right, Lalam coaxed, be good now. He's already helped us a lot. We shouldn't bother him anymore. Besides, he has things to do. We'll meet him again. Latuyette was a sensible girl, so she could only cry softly. You approached and patted her head, then turned to Lalam. Do you know how to drive? She replied, yes. The angel stood up and called, what are you still doing there? Let's go. The motorcycle continued to speed down the road. The little girl sitting in front excitedly exclaimed, this is so thrilling. While Lalam sat behind holding onto you tightly, she couldn't help but ask, why has the world become so scary? The angel replied, basically it's due to a virus, kind of like those horror zombie movies you've watched. Lalam continued, so where are you planning to take us? The motorcycle stopped next to a car by the roadside. Okay, we're here. Getting off the bike, the angel led her to the car and asked, if not, then look here. I'm going to break into this car to show you. Do you know how to steal a car? Oh my anicaps. Lalam stopped him. Hey, you're a student, you know. That's against the law. You're curious about how she knows you're a student, right? Wait, we're still in our school uniforms. No wonder. Lalam reminded him. But if you want to find Huyen, you'd better look for the police. No matter how tough you are, this place is still very dangerous. The angel found it really funny. The police. Do you think the police can find Huyen for me? You're so tight-lipped, you even have to ask. He pointed behind them. That can't be the police, right? A police officer had turned into a zombie and was staggering towards them. Lalam's face went pale as the angel spoke up. What's your name? You're standing behind, stuttering. I'm Law. He stepped in front of her. Law, the teacher. Let me tell you something about this world. The angel stomped down hard on the ground. You dealt with that zombie cop, and now it's become a scarier world than you imagined. The two sisters gasped in shock. Bright red blood splattered everywhere. The angel quickly stripped it of its clothes. Her luck wasn't too bad. This armor was really good. The only problem was it didn't have a gun. The monsters couldn't destroy or bite through this armor for now. Here, take this metal pipe. Hurry, grab it. This is your weapon. Never leave it behind. She caught it. Got it. The angel reminded her, remember there's no one to protect you now like the police or the law. If you want to survive, you can only rely on yourself. I've fixed this vehicle. Just start it and follow my instructions. For now, I can't go with you. Please find my friend. Just tell them the angel sent you to find her. Lalam quickly asked, is your name Angel? He confirmed, that's me. She introduced herself fully. I'm Lalam. My sister is Latuyette. Remember, you must be careful. He replied, you too. Both vehicles started up simultaneously. Lalam asked him to promise, make sure to come back safe. The angel confidently replied, what else is there to say? As he left, Lalam felt sad. Latuyette spoke up at that moment. You should have confessed to him. Now the chance is gone. You know I understand, but right now I don't even know what to do. The little girl couldn't understand why adults were so complicated. Unfortunately for them, the road was jam-packed with cars. Meanwhile, the angel felt a strange calmness. There was no noise at all. He got off the motorcycle. I can't ride anymore. I guess I have to walk over there then. The angel stayed alert, hiding behind a car when he suddenly noticed something. A police car, great. There might be a gun inside. The angel stealthily approached the line of cars, inching closer to the police car. Inside, there was a zombie. He could easily see the gun inside. That's it! The zombie heard the noise and sat up. The angel was startled and stepped back to keep a safe distance while it slammed its head against the window, shattering the glass. The zombie burst out through the broken window. He thought to himself, this is bad. Surrounded by cars, there was no way to escape from this monster. Its fierce face reached towards him, making the angel pale with fear. He slammed its head down against the car next to him. But then the worst happened. Damn it, this is bad. The alarm bells of several other cars rang out. The angel quickly pulled out his dagger and stabbed it straight into the zombie's temple. In such a cramped situation, you know you can't fight against zombies. The angel is focused on the gun in the car near the school during the first class of 4th grade. Inside the classroom, it's eerily quiet. 2 girls are sitting dejectedly against the wall. Lam Sa looks worried, and Lin Lin seems the same. Suddenly, Duong Duong calls out, "Look, boss, there's someone alive out there." The girl immediately stands up, and the 3 of them peek outside. It seems like he just killed one. There's a whole bunch of monsters surrounding him. Maybe the horn earlier was because of him. He attracted the monsters. The angel is checking the ammo, 2 magazines with 35 bullets. This isn't good. It's hard to deal with this many monsters. The 3 girls look down from above and see there's no way out. He's definitely surrounded. He's not running. He jumps onto the bus roof. Is he going crazy from fear up there? It's safe for now, but not for long. Another zombie climbs up and he angrily shouts at it, "You bastard, who gave you permission to climb up here?" Immediately, the angel swings his bat and smashes its head. With a crunch, he realizes he's saving too few bullets. Unless it's an emergency, he should avoid using them. So the angel attacks the zombies physically. Each one that charges at him is taken down cleanly. Standing on the bus roof, any zombie that dares to approach is knocked off by the angel. "Come on, you beasts. Let's see if I can take you down. Let's see if I can kill you." The 3 girls are discussing among themselves, "What's going on here? This is amazing. We should call for him. Wait, we still don't know who he is. Is he good or bad? Plus, let's see if he can survive first." At this moment, the situation has become urgent as he is surrounded by zombies until dusk falls below. He's exhausted to the point of leaning on his bat. Breathing heavily, he looks at the last zombie, but the angel feels like he can't stand anymore. He just wants to lie down and sleep like this. The zombie, not feeling tired at all, charges at him. He prepares to swing his bat for the final blow. The whole iron rod is bitten by it. The angel, frustrated, shoves the rod straight into its eye, pouring out all the frustration and exhaustion of the day into this one. "You lowly creature that hasn't even evolved yet, you think you can kill me." Then he smashes it down hard. The zombie flies off the bus roof, and as a bonus, he gives it another bullet. This place is now clean. The angel breathes a sigh of relief. He lies down on the bus roof, clearly exhausted. Could it be that he has broken through his limits? Then this must be a great opportunity to enhance his resistance. The virus Lin Lin observes and calls out, "Boss, come here quick. He's killed all the monsters." Lam Sa is shocked. "What? How is that possible?" There were so many monsters, so what happened to him now? The girl curiously says, "He's just been sitting there. He must be resting. Hey, do you think he'll come to save us?" Lam Sa replies, "Unfortunately, I don't think so. It's so dark." He's still tired. He probably doesn't even realize we're here. The angel closes his eyes, focusing to feel it. This feeling is even stronger than before. A thick smoke rises around his body. First, he must control the mutated cells evolving from the Ebola virus. After the initial evolution phase is complete, the virus will gather to form a complete pathway enhancing physical strength, and then it awakens the omnipotent system. The crowbar feels much lighter. Now I can easily handle the unevolved monsters. My strength is now double that of an ordinary person. But the other abilities haven't been tested yet, but I'm sure they've improved a bit. The immediate task is to regain my antiviral strength, and finally, recognizing the special ability of the omnipotent system allows me to sense any movement within a 5-meter range. Although I can't move while using it once I reach the final level, I can sense a range of 20 meters. However, compared to the mental system, it's still far behind. I still remember that year. Huyen Huyen can sense a range of 1 kilometer. You must be in there, right? Huyen Huyen looked towards the school. I'm coming to save you. Late at night, the angel activated awareness to check the surroundings. My activation range is quite small. It seems I can't exceed this level. You feeling frustrated threw the water bottle against the wall. The sound echoed, catching the attention of the zombies immediately. They ran towards the source of the sound. A few gathered together. The angel glanced over. There are 5 that haven't evolved. Dealing with these is really too easy. What a perfect timing. I still haven't tested what the other abilities are like. The angel jumped down from above to where they were. Your evolved body is more than enough to handle this group. Reflexes and coordination have tripled compared to before. The speed seems to have increased significantly as well. The whole group of zombies frantically chased after you. Looking back, they had been cleared out. The angel confidently thought now these unevolved monsters are definitely no match for me. In the underground classroom, only empty shells remained. Lin sadly spoke up, "We're out of food. At this rate, we won't need monsters to kill us. We'll die of hunger." Dung suggested to the leader, "Now that there are no monsters in the hallway, wouldn't it be great to go outside?" Sao Sa immediately dismissed it. "Absolutely not. It's too dangerous to go out right now." The girl replied, "If we don't go out to find food, isn't dying of hunger also dangerous?" Sao Sa reluctantly agreed. "All right then, quickly grab the flashlight. Let's go to the door." Slowly opening the door, the 3 of them quietly stepped outside. They tiptoed down the hallway. Lam Sa directed the 2 to classroom 2. "There's a fat guy who always snacks over there. There must be food." "And I'll go to classroom 3. Be careful." They followed orders. The girl changed direction to classroom 3 alone. Lam Sa rummaged through the stuff inside when a rat clung to her leg. She reminded Tu Bao, "Don't mess around anymore." After a long time without finding anything, Lam Sa was frustrated. It was all just junk, not even a crumb of bread. She noticed a water bottle on the desk. "What's this?" Taking the water bottle out, Lam Sa was delighted. "A bottle of water? That's great." But the shrill scream made the girl freeze. The angel walking in the hallway also heard someone upstairs. Lam Sa was in danger. There were monsters here. It's bad to Bao run. She saw her friend being chased by a zombie in the hallway. The girl screamed, "Help! Help me!" Lam Sa cursed, "Damn it, this is bad." She called out to Lin, but the girl was already being chewed on by a zombie. Lam Sa, terrified, stepped back, but accidentally bumped into a corpse. Her face turned pale when she saw it was Dung. Lam Sa panicked, because both were friends who had lost their lives. The zombie was tearing into Lin, chewing hungrily. Meanwhile, Dung behind began to transform. The zombie had spotted Lam Sa. The girl was so scared her face turned white. Then she hurriedly ran away, screaming for help. The angel calmly looked at the situation before him. He was surrounded now. The earlier scream had attracted the monsters here. In a situation like this, I have to use my gun. The gunshots echoed in the night. Looking at the marks on the zombie's body, the angel understood this mark. Be really careful. In the classroom, there were knocking sounds. The angel noticed, right, those monsters are trying to break down the classroom door. They're really trying hard. The angel observed, seeing that there must be someone inside. Activating awareness, checking the area within 2 meters. After checking, you found someone sitting behind the door. From your judgment, it was probably a girl. The angel held on to hope. Could it be her? The knocking continued. Lam Sa, scared, prayed, "Please don't come here." But she suddenly realized there was no more noise. Had they left, the knocking continued steadily, scaring her back. You reassured her, "Don't be afraid, I'm human." "Hurry, open the door." Lam Sa doubted, really. The girl opened the door, overjoyed to be rescued, while you kept a serious face. Lam Sa immediately asked, "Do you have any food? I'm hungry." Even a mouse gets to eat, and she was eating like a pig. You took the chance to ask, "Do you know anyone named Huyen?" Lam Sa confirmed, "Of course. She's the beauty queen of my school." Seeing the angel just smoking, the girl asked, "Aren't you eating? Aren't you hungry?" You replied, "I'm fine." Lam Sa recounted how the monsters appeared, plunging the whole school into chaos. Many people escaped, but some had died. Huyen must have escaped too. You casually said that. But suddenly the girl's necklace was revealed. The angel snatched it and asked, "Where did you get this?" Lam Sa shouted, "That's mine." Seeing your aggressive attitude, the girl felt embarrassed. "What are you doing?" You hesitated. "Is your father La Han?" The girl was surprised. "You know my dad." You replied, maybe we're friends. You patted Lam Sa on the shoulder. The angel invited her, come with me. I'll help you meet your dad. But the girl brushed your hand off her shoulder, saying, I don't need to meet him. If you give me food and protect me, then I'll go. You quickly agreed. All right, give me your hand. Lam Sa placed her hand in the angel's palm. You held it tightly. The angel recalled memories and asked, La Han, the gas in the capital is really thick. No wonder there are so many monsters here. He replied, this place is really quiet. Maybe we should camp here next time. You noticed the house behind. There were buzzing sounds coming from inside. The angel predicted it might be hard to leave here without spilling blood. Lahan replied, I thought you didn't know anything. I've felt it for a while now. A zombie evolved with green skin and sharp claws lunged out. Its body even sprouted sharp spikes. You stared at this creature, realizing there was still one more left. He pulls out 2 swords. He must have a grudge against this thing. Don't worry, just watch me transform it. Let's see if it can escape Lahan's shout. The angel blinks and looks up. He jumps down towards the evolved zombie, swiftly striking a few blows into its body. The zombie screams wildly. It reaches out towards him. A powerful hit sends Lahan flying backward. He signals for the angel to coordinate with him. You shoot at it, kill it. But each bullet can't pierce the zombie's skin. It turns its head to see who dares to attack it. The angel, feeling uneasy, watches the smoking barrel. Oh no, I'm out of ammo. At that moment, the zombie lunged towards you, and the angel stared wide-eyed at the imminent danger. Luckily, Lahan had already chopped off one of its arms, saving your life, but it was still a close call, kid. He stomped his foot to gain momentum, his gaze resolute. With one swift strike, he severed the zombie's head, sending it straight to hell. Its body collapsed to the ground as Lahan panted heavily. The angel, concerned, asked, Are you okay? What was with your speed earlier? He calmly unbuttoned his outer shirt, revealing bulging muscles. You were astonished to see the black wings sprouting from Lahan's back. Had he evolved to a new level? You never expected this to happen again. He truly is a monster now. Our 1st battalion couldn't even compete with that. He humbly replied, You're overpraising me. Isn't it all thanks to your breathing technique? The 2 of them sat in the military truck, heading back to the base. Sitting in the back, you noticed Lahan quietly staring intently at something. What are you so focused on, old man? You asked. He showed the angel a necklace. This is a birthday gift from my daughter. She gave it to me back then. The little girl has one just like it. It's kind of like a talisman. You were surprised. You have a daughter. I never heard of her name. He replied, Lan San, I joined the military early as a soldier, so I didn't have time to care for her. She must be 18 by now. Lahan hesitated. If she's still alive. When the outbreak happened, I left her at home to go on a mission with the squad. If I hadn't gone, then she would still be alive. The angel's eyes reflected trust as you reassured him. A tiger father doesn't raise a dog son. Don't worry, with a powerful dad like you, she definitely won't be weak. Currently in a quiet classroom, Lan San was beginning her evolution process. Waves of energy surrounded her, sizzling. The angel was delighted. Good. We'll continue tomorrow. The virus links have accumulated. You thought to yourself, that's great. The virus had started to accumulate. She really is Lahan's daughter. Even though it was her first time, she managed to accumulate the virus after just 3 tries. The angel walked over to the window and lit a cigarette. Then he quietly took a drag, remembering his friends and mentors Lahan. He had paid a hefty price to develop this breathing technique. Now that I've been reborn, I meet his daughter. Is this an omen? On the rooftop, there were buzzing sounds around the door, covered in blood. Fresh blood stained the dark, empty hallway, echoing with growls. It was the sound of the zombie inside the room. Its body emitted a sizzling mist. It was evolving too. The rumbling of virus particles echoed, boiling in the air, looking extremely terrifying. The evolving zombie had risen with a completely new body. On the side of the building where the angel was, you handed a gun to Lan San. Do you know how to use this? The girl confirmed, I do. My dad taught me how to use this. You handed the gun to Lan San, relying on herself. Remember to always stay safe. She understood the underlying meaning, knowing that danger was always lurking. No need to remind me. The angel praised, this girl really understands the current situation. Lan San replied firmly, Of course, I've witnessed so many people die right in front of me. You instructed her to stay put and practice. As long as you don't make loud noises, you'll definitely be safe. Lan San noticed, thanks to this breathing technique, you can defeat so many monsters. The angel was surprised. You saw that, I swear it's incredible. But just wait. I will be stronger than you. You suddenly remembered, if you want, you can practice here. By the way, where's the PA room? Lan San pointed the way. It's in the basement behind the storage room. It's really dark there. You should bring a flashlight. You followed her directions while activating your mental power to check. There's hardly been any recent infections. Safety comes first. I need to stay aware and check my surroundings. But finding the room is also really important. Wandering the hallway isn't a great idea, but luckily, I got this rope from the police car. It really wasn't a waste of effort, but we're on the 3rd floor. This is going to be a bit tricky. There are too many monsters in the hallway. They aren't too threatening, but it'll waste a lot of time. Hold on tight to the rope and slowly lower yourself down. His face showed seriousness. The angel is probing outside a bit. No movement. I need to check inside. 8 or 90 senses activated. No signs or feelings of any infected individuals. Am I mistaken? You carefully push open a door to a room. Your hand grips the gun tightly as you step inside. The angel is cautious with every step. This basement is bigger than I thought. Maybe my senses aren't fully developed yet. I need to be more careful. That evolved zombie is lurking in the corner. Finally, the angel has found it. In the electrical system room, you grab the handle ready to pull it out when you exclaim, "Ouch, I'm really unlucky." Because inside is a zombie. It glares at the angel. You grip the gun tightly. It stands up, taking steps toward you. A shot goes straight through the zombie's head. Fresh blood splatters everywhere. At that moment, the evolved zombie suddenly prepares to punch you. The angel turns around and exclaims, "Oh no, it's a level 2 infected." Its powerful fist rushes toward you. You quickly jump back to dodge the blow. The angel's body retreats. You assess its speed. It's astonishing. If you don't dodge in time, you might end up as minced meat. The level 2 infected has been enhanced, giving it an almost indestructible bone armor, especially in the skull area. Damn it, if only I had a heavy weapon in hand. The angel swings the stick straight at this zombie's head. A loud crack echoes, but when the thick smoke dissipates, you see it still unharmed. You curse, "Damn it, I hit it, and it didn't even scratch. This isn't good. Time to retreat." The angel deliberately pushes a cabinet to block its path. The zombie starts growling, looking up high. It spots you. The angel scornfully mocks it. "You really think you can kill me in a place this spacious?" "I've got plenty of room to fight and dodge your attacks." Your stick lands on its neck. A punch sends the evolved zombie flying back, its body crashing to the ground. A loud thud resonates. The angel is shocked by what happens below, because that zombie has stood up, letting out a roar like it's gone mad. The whole school trembles at this sound. Lamsa is surprised to hear this noise. The girl looks out the window. That noise just now was... Slow footsteps echoed in the hallway. The zombies seem organized, gathering like ants. They swarm toward the source of the sound. The evolved zombie continues to scream. You irritably ask, "Want to call more of your kind? You think I'm just gonna let you do that?" A swing of the stick lands straight on this zombie's head. It struggles to get up, but you hit it again. The angel unleashes all its frustration on it, the body getting hammered repeatedly. Your eyes flash with anger. Die. You hear footsteps echoing. You've heard it. On the stairs, each zombie is coming down. The evolved zombie braces itself on the ground. Then it stands up. You realize the situation. The angel decides to retreat. Prolonging this will be disadvantageous for you. Let's get to the upper floor first. You lean to dodge its rushing punch. You want to hit me, huh? After that, the angel takes off running. If you're good, then come chase me. The evolved zombie looks confused. It, along with the lower-level zombies, follows you step by step. You activate your mental power and start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 are following that one. The rest aren't following him. My chance has come. It seems this monster hasn't fully evolved yet. Typically, level 2 evolutions can call 10 infected. The angel kicks the wall and calls out, "Hey, you guys!" The whole group slowly turn their heads in that direction. You aim the gun, waiting. A voice echoed, and the bullet whizzed past the zombie's head. Next, the angel pulled out a stick. You dealt with the nearby zombies, taking down a whole bunch. The bullet lodged right in the forehead of the evolved zombie, but you knew one thing. A short 6 like this, it definitely couldn't kill a level 2 infected, but shooting its hair would reduce the monster's reflexes and speed. And that was the opportunity. The angel straightened up and struck it on the head. Bits and pieces flew everywhere. The evolved zombie was done for its body collapsing to the ground right in front of the angel. You scoffed, saying that level 2 monsters were really strong. The most concerning part was their toughness and ability to call for reinforcements. But unfortunately for them, they ran into my angel. Looking out the window, you prepared to head back to the electric room. Trying to peek outside, the angel noticed that the zombies were all gathered downstairs. Looks like I should thank that level 2 monster. Thanks to it all, the infected in the school were gathered here. Suddenly, you noticed the room next door. The infirmary, how lucky. After a while, the angel had collected quite a bit of necessary medicine. Truly a blind cat catching a rat. My luck is really good. This stash of medicine will be very beneficial. You looked at the bottle in your hand. This alcohol appeared just in time. Then you threw it out the window. The bottle fell where the zombies were gathered and shattered. A few of them looked down. Watching the other bottles fall one after another, the angel started to light a fire. You shouldn't have gathered here. Goodbye. A huge explosion erupted and the whole group of zombies was buried in a sea of flames. Lamsa stood in the room, seeing this scene, exclaimed, "So powerful!" The lights flickered. The girl exclaimed, "There's power now, and the loudspeaker has a signal." Your voice echoed through the speaker. Why can't I hear anything? Oh, whatever. Huyen, no New Queen, I'm here to save you. If you're still in the school and can hear this, then wait for me at the school gate tomorrow morning, even though we're strangers. But still, please trust me. The angel bit his lip, praying, "You must survive." The whole school sank into a quiet night. You returned to the classroom, trying to start a conversation. I heard everything earlier. So you're not a stranger to To Tien Boy, got it? You're not a stranger to To Tien Boy. I had suspected and guessed your identity. On a sunny day in the midst of a crowded street, you accidentally locked eyes with To Tien Boy and fell in love with her. You fell in love at first sight. You're a stalker, and then you kept following her. I'm telling you it's true. The angel knocked on the girl's head, who was talking nonsense. Go to sleep. Tomorrow we'll leave here with a swollen head. The girl whimpered, "Okay." The next day, sunlight streamed through the window, waking Lamsa up. You had packed your things. It's morning. Get up. Let's go. The girl looked out the window and noticed that the angel had someone at the gate. It might be Huyen. Without hesitation, you dashed outside, leaving the girl behind, calling out, "Angel!" Lamsa hurriedly followed you toward the school gate. Ahead was a girl with hair very similar to Nyuk Huyen. The angel was overjoyed. Finally, he could see you again. You happily called out the familiar name, Huyen. But when the two turned around, their beauty was truly stunning. The angel was speechless, but he still had to approach. Facing them, the angel covered his mouth and tried to ask, "Stop it. Does anyone know who To Tien Huyen is?" They stammered, unsure. It seems Lamsa discovered they came here to ask An for help. These two were pressing close to him, whispering sweet nothings. Or maybe you could help these two, okay? They won't treat you poorly. I promise they'll repay you. The angel was annoyed, and Sam quickly dismissed them. They were left speechless. One guy awkwardly said, "Me." Suddenly, Tubok reacted, calling out continuously. Lamsa reminded Tubao, "Come on, stop messing around." He sensed something was off. "Did she get bitten or something?" His friend scolded him. "You got bitten. Why didn't you say anything?" She replied, "No, it's just a superficial wound." The angel coldly pulled out a gun. "Looks like you were bitten about 20 minutes ago. According to my calculations, in about an hour, you'll mutate." She trembled, pleading, "No, I wasn't bitten. They just scratched me." Her friend rushed over and pushed her to the ground. "Die! You almost got me killed." She stepped forward, pleading, "Angel, take me with you. I wasn't bitten. I can strip for you to check. Please let me go with you." Her friend pulled her back, and Adung angrily shouted, "Ungrateful, I gave you everything, and now you treat me like this. Get off me, you bitch." "When I go to hell, I'll pay you back. Don't keep me here." She actively pleaded, "Take me with you. I vow to repay you with my body. Don't leave me with this monster." Amai behind her got angry. "What did you just call me?" She had transformed and bit into her friend's shoulder. This situation shocked the three who were still conscious. Adung screamed, "That hurts! I'll kill you! Let go of me!" Mai coldly laughed, "You dare call me a monster!" If I die, don't expect to live either. The angel was on high alert. She might have completely lost her mind. She started to transform quickly. Adung knelt down, exclaiming, "No way," not wanting to die. Amai had completely transformed. He calmly watched the scene unfold. Huyen isn't here. "Let's go," Adung cried behind tears streaming down. The two of them left the dangerous area. The school gate was empty. Bad news arrived when the angel discovered. "Oh no, my car has been taken. Looks like I'll have to walk from now on." Tubok stared at him alert. "This little mouse is called Tubok. It seems special. It will definitely be useful later." Lam Sa was surprised. "Are you serious?" The angel extended his hand to show her the marks on his hand. "I can feel something inside Tubok's body. It might have mutated." She curiously asked, "Evolved?" He replied, "Tubok, what do you think?" "Not sure," he said. "My research and judgment based on experience suggest there could be many things I don't know." Lam Sa doubted the new pandemic just started 4 days ago. "How do you know so much?" the angel asked, testing. "What if I said I traveled back from the future? Would you believe me?" Without thinking, she replied, "Of course." He changed the subject. "Forget I said anything. In general, Tubok might be stronger than us in the future. Who knows?" Suddenly, the angel noticed a strange sound. Lam Sa suspiciously asked, "What is that?" Lam Sa suspiciously asks, "What is it?" "You guess there's gunfire." The girl reveals, "I can't hear it, but there's been a police station nearby." You decide to rush over to the police station to check it out. Lam Sa misunderstands. It's safer to have the police around, right? But the angel doesn't clarify, just smiles knowingly. At the police station, a battle has broken out between the few police officers and the overwhelming number of zombies. Each shot rings out, but the zombies keep charging in waves. The police are trying to shoot them down. The scene becomes utterly chaotic. The angel and Lam Sa are hiding outside the gate. The police report, "Nya Tien Boy, it's not looking good. We're out of ammo. We can't hold out much longer." Nya Min firmly says, "We can't give up now. We have to hold them off so the civilians can evacuate. Focus on defense. Let's switch to plan B." Lam Sa, in despair, hugs her head and sits down. "I thought it would be safe here. You go help them." "You find this whole idea of safety ridiculous. Is there really safety in this world? If you want to survive, you have to fend for yourself." The angel calmly lights a cigarette, takes a puff, then tosses it to the ground. Seeing the angel head towards the back entrance, Lam Sa follows closely. "Wait for me! Where are you going?" You reveal, "Up there." The girl wonders, "Are we really not going to help them?" The angel gestures for silence. You close your eyes, activate your mental awareness, and start counting briefly. 1, 2, 3, 4. After assessing the situation inside, the angel instructs her to stay put and be cautious of her surroundings. As soon as you step inside, the zombies spot you. They scream, and the angel charges at them, swiftly taking down one with agility. "Be careful, hide behind the wall," the girl reminds. Little Bok is crying out, "Shh, Little Bok." Meanwhile, you're still fighting off 7 zombies. The angel strikes one directly in the face. Just as you're about to finish it off, you notice a zombie behind Lam Sa. The angel shouts, "Behind you!" A zombie is lunging with its gaping mouth. Lam turns to you angrily, scolding, "You beast!" The zombie blocking your way hits your arm, causing your gun to fly out. The angel is shocked. "What the?" You struggle to push its grotesque face away. A blow lands squarely on the zombie's face. Then the angel grabs its head and quickly twists its neck with bare hands. A crack echoes. The angel urgently urges Lam Sa, "Shoot now." Fear flashes in the girl's eyes as she faces something so terrifying. Her hand holding the gun trembles. "Don't come any closer." The zombie howls. Lam Sa shuts her eyes and fires. The gunfire echoes. The bullet pierces the zombie's head, blood splattering everywhere as it collapses right in front of Lam Sa. The gun's barrel is still smoking. The angel holds out a hand in front of her. His face softens. Lam Sa apologizes. "I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention." He reassures her, "It's okay, as long as we're alive. Next time you have to be more careful." The girl looks at the corpse, but the angel gently pats her head. "No buts. You will definitely be stronger than me in the future. I've planned for it." From this position, we can observe the entire battle. Lam Sa curiously asks, "Why aren't you helping them?" You explain shooting wildly like that is not only ineffective, but also attracts more monsters. They're just digging their own graves. The girl retorts, but they have guns. The angel steps into the room casually responding, even a 7-year-old kid isn't foolish enough to fight in that situation. 10 of them against thousands of monsters. Helping them is no different from self-destruction. Lamsa still clings to the idea, why don't we help them run somewhere else? You calmly say while lighting a cigarette, just wait. When they either die or escape, we'll go grab their weapons. The battle outside is gradually revealing its outcome. Officer Lum reports, Nya Tian Boy, they're coming in too many. I can't hold on any longer. Nya Ming just can't do it anymore. Announce to everyone to retreat quickly, he shouted loudly for the entire unit to pay attention. Everyone fall back and stick close together. Lam Sa heard this order and knew it was time for them to prepare for action. The girl reported, the angels are starting to retreat. You can respond. Now get your stuff ready. We're leaving too. I've searched this whole place already. It's mostly just unnecessary supplies. The only thing that can be used for fighting is this knife. Here, take this. There's also a car key. Lam Sa picked up an item and examined it. It still had a signal with one down in the basement. It might still be operational. You urged, got it, let's go. The angel placed the magazine in the girl's palm. We're out of ammo. This is the last magazine. Only use it when absolutely necessary. How do I continue? As for this turtle, the girl tried to stab at the angel, but he caught it with just 2 fingers. The angel's expression turned cold and serious. He reminded her, I told you. Only when you engage in a real battle pushing your body to its limits can you evolve. Indeed, the child of La Han, a tiger father, begets a tiger son. Lam Sa pouted, I don't want to be a burden to you. I want to be stronger. The girl brought up the past. Didn't you say that the monsters could evolve too? Why haven't we encountered any so far? The angel revealed, actually I have encountered one. But it wasn't fully developed. The number of second-tier monsters only accounts for about 1 or 2 in hundreds. Second-tier monsters are enhanced in strength, speed, and defense. But they still remain within the limits of humanity. The most concerning thing about them is their ability to call for their kind, and their terrifying defense, which is almost absolute. However, a heavy weapon can still kill a second-tier monster. Higher-tier ones are still rare. So how long until the monsters evolve to Tier 2? A normal one evolves to Tier 2 in about a week to a month, depending on the individual. The second-tier monster I encountered in the basement was a special case. However, its evolutionary state is not yet at its peak. As you can see, the monsters only know how to chase after people and sounds without needing to identify what it is. All right, let's hurry up and go. It was getting late. Lam Sa asked him, how's the situation? The angel revealed, it's fine, they've all left. They walked to the car parked outside. He tried pressing the car key. A beep sounded and the car lights turned on. The girl was amazed. Wow, that's impressive. The angel assessed this car is in good working condition. Quickly load the essentials into the car. The vehicle slowly left the parking lot in front of the police station. He reminded her that there might still be monsters inside. She replied, I remember to be careful. No need to remind me. I'm not a child. She reassured Tubok. Be good now, Tubok. At that moment, 2 people entered through the gate. Their images had been monitored through binoculars. The henchman reported to the boss, the monsters and the crew have left. But the boss asked directly, what is it? He replied, there's a couple walking in. Among them, there's a girl who looks pretty good. The boss peeked out and cursed, damn it, this guy is such a flatterer. Don't worry, our people are already inside. You think you can mess with my dad, huh? Get ready to go in there and grab some guns. And be ready to take that girl too. The whole gang is starting to head down the street, approaching the back door of the police station. The sound of footsteps echoes. They're a group of 4. Inside the hallway, there are zombies and police bodies everywhere. The angel and Lam Sa move into a few rooms to check. You guessed the police have already cleaned this place up. Go look for the storage room, brave girl. So we'll split up to take action. The angel agrees that works. I'll head up to the 2nd floor. You stay safe on your own. Lam Sa gives a nod. You step up the stairs, eyes tightly shut, sensing that there are no corpses around. This must be the storage room. You try to turn the doorknob, but it won't budge. The angel notices the lock, then kicks the door hard. The storage door crashes down in front of him. The angel stares wide-eyed into the room. He walks past the cabinets, checking them out. Good. He finds a treasure chest. The angel opens it to check inside. There are 2 guns. He grabs them right away. Aren't these the kind the police usually use? The angel notices a sticky note on the wall. Looks like these are all restricted items that haven't been processed. This time I hit the jackpot. He continues to search. Everything here is good stuff. Late at night, inside the room, Lam Sa has gathered a lot of useful items. She counts through the police uniforms, bulletproof vests, batons, and helmets. All of this is usable for me. Lam Sa lets out a sigh, but then hears someone kick a can. She thought it was the angel, but in front of her are those 4 gang members. Lam Sa glares at them. In her mind, she quickly calculates the situation outside. The boss orders you 2 go up to the 2nd floor. You 4th come with me. She hides tightly in a corner. Someone's here. I need to hide now. There's a cabinet inside. How about that? Hide in there. She peeks out from the cabinet, secretly observing the enemy's movements. The 4th notices this room. The boss says, "There's a storage room here." The boss taps the guy on the head. "Keep it down. Don't let those 2 notice us." Lam Sa catches the key point. They know that she and the angel are here. The guy orders to go inside and take a look. The 4th just glances around. The boss sees there's nothing good here and decides to move on. Let's go find somewhere else. But suddenly the cabinet where Lam Sa is hiding opens up. She comes face to face with the boss, who smirks with a calculating grin. Meanwhile, the angel is finishing gathering the last of the items, but can't get the door open. He's looking for Lam Sa. He hears footsteps and realizes there's danger. The angel presses himself against the wall to hide. Outside, the 2nd and 3rd pass by. The 3rd asks the 2nd, "Isn't that kid Chow really hard to deal with?" He replies, "What's there to be afraid of? The boss is the champion of this area. How many people can handle him?" The 3rd worries, "What if he has a gun?" The 2nd responds, "We have 4 people. What's there to fear? He's not scared of anything. He's out in the open while we're in the dark. When the time comes, we'll take him down from behind." The 3rd advises the 2nd to be careful. When he met the angel, he was already so arrogant. Have you seen that? Just like this. After knocking out those 2 guys, you realized there were more than just them. The boss they mentioned is probably here too. We're in trouble now. Lam Sa is in danger just as the angel predicted. The gun in her hand trembles, even though the barrel is pointed at herself. The boss remains indifferent as they raise their hands and back away. He speaks up. "Hey, little sister, if your arms are getting tired holding that gun, just put it down." But she stays alert, facing them. The boss continues to coax, "We mean no harm, we just want to chat for a bit." The girl doesn't budge. "There's nothing to talk about. You can just leave." He insists, "Don't be stubborn, just put the gun down. We'll go look for the item together." Lao Tu suddenly bursts out laughing. Lam Sa glares at them. "Don't come any closer, or I'll shoot." Lam Sa's hand is ready to pull the trigger. The sound of the gun goes off, and the 2 guys immediately panic. The girl shuts her eyes tight, but then there's no sound. So she opens her eyes and sees the boss with a dark expression. He grabs Lam Sa's wrist. "Little sister, let me teach you a bit before you shoot. You have to disengage the safety like this. Then you can roll with me later, right?" Her hand rests in his. The boss is still talking, but Lam Sa darkly interjects. "Let me tell you, I don't need to disengage the safety on my knees." With a swift kick to this guy's groin, the kick makes the boss's face change color, his legs clenching together in pain as he collapses trembling. Lao Tu rushes over to check on him. "Are you okay?" Lam Sa is panting heavily. He angrily orders, "Catch her, don't let her escape." The girl quickly tries to flee from the scene, but she's a step too slow and gets grabbed by the neck. Lao Tu drags Lam Sa back. "You little brat, come back here." The girl struggles. "Let me go." He can't hold back anymore, shoving the gun to her head. "Stay still. If you move, I'll shoot." Lam Sa glares at him. Suddenly, a sound makes Lao Tu suspicious. What the hell is that? Shobei has gotten chubbier. He exclaims, "It's just a rat." It scurries to Lao Tu's feet and bites him. He screams. At the same time, Lam Sa bites Lao Tu's hand. He has to let her go, leaning back in pain. Taking advantage of Lao Tu's distraction, the girl slips away. He squeezes Xiaobai in his hand. This damned little thing is annoying, but it escapes and bites his fingertip. While Lao Tu is in pain, it jumps to the ground. Lam Sa shouts, "Xiaobai, come here!" This guy holds a grudge. "You brought this on yourself." The girl freezes, sensing something bad. He aims the gun at Lam Sa and starts firing. She runs quickly towards the corner of the stairs. Lam Sa slides down the stairs, trembling as she prepares to get up. A hand reaches out in front of her. It's you back again. The girl joyfully calls out, Angel! You signal for her to be quiet, then discreetly hide by the wall. Lao Tu is approaching. Where are you, you little brat? The boss calls out to Lao Tu from behind, asking, Are you okay? He replies, I'm feeling better. I almost lost my precious stuff because of that little brat. Where's that girl? She went upstairs. Old Ford just reported that I fired a shot. The remaining guy from their group probably knows by now. That girl really runs fast. But Old 2 and Old 3 are still upstairs. Old Boss is cursing, saying how stupid it is that the gunshot was so loud. Could it be that Old 2 and Old 3 don't know? Maybe they've already been caught. Lam Sa anxiously asks what we should do now. The angel turns back, concerned for the girl. Don't rush. How's your leg? Lam Sa replies, It's nothing serious, just a little painful. Call me over, I'll carry you. Lam Sa's face turns red upon hearing this. The angel urges, Hurry up. There's no time to be shy. The angel rushes down the stairs. They can't afford to be slow. That gunshot was so loud. They must have sensed it for sure. Lam Sa feels shy in his arms, her face flushed. The angel stops when he sees Old 3 above. Old 2 looks back and sees Old Boss and Old 4. Surrounded on both sides puts them in danger. Old 3 reports that Old Boss has guns in the warehouse upstairs. Once we deal with these two, we'll be rich. Old Boss smugly looks at him. Kid, drop your gun. 2 against 4, you don't stand a chance. The angel frowns when he sees the guy aiming his gun at him. The guy says if he had known this would happen, he would have dealt with it earlier. Lam Sa scared hides behind the angel. He thinks to himself that there's no other way now. Suddenly, Old Boss freezes when he sees the angel's arm starting to glow. Lam Sa is also surprised. The angel's arm radiates a red glow. He coldly narrows his sharp gaze at them. Old 2 hasn't even regained his composure when Old Boss shouts, Old 2, be careful! The angel jumps up, gathering momentum, and throws a punch down. He is stunned and hasn't recovered when he sees the opponent shooting at him. He leans to the side to dodge. Old 2 fearfully exclaims, How is that possible? He gives him a punch, and the guy quickly gets knocked back. Old 2 is sent crashing against the wall. The wall behind him cracks. Old 2's face is covered in blood. Old 3, seeing this, is terrified and doesn't dare to move. He regains his composure and curses, Damn it, get down! Aiming at the angel's back. But Old 3 doesn't get to do anything before receiving a kick. His face twists, and he rolls down the stairs. The angel calls out to Lam Sa, Hurry up and come here. Old Boss supports his brother and asks Old 3, Are you okay? Old 4, furious, keeps shooting. I'll risk my life for you. The bullets fly towards the wall right next to Lam Sa. The girl quickly hides in a corner. Old 4 reports, Boss, they're up there. Old Boss vows to kill them. The two of them head to a window where there's a garbage truck outside. He urges, It's not safe here. Jump down to the truck and hide inside. Lam Sa, pale with fear, jumps down. The angel behind her urges, Don't dawdle, hurry! The girl has to climb through the window. Okay. Lam Sa still hesitates. Old 4's voice rings out, They're over there. He decisively pushes the girl down. Lam Sa falls freely onto the garbage truck, her face scrunched up in anger. The angel turns back to look at the trio that just arrived. He knows he has to activate Ebola. We can't take long. We need to finish this quickly. The angel grabs 2 knives and rushes towards them. All 3 of them start shooting, trying to kill him. Bullets rain down towards him. The angel skillfully dodges. Old Boss can't believe it. Are you a monster? The first knife he gives to this guy. The guy's arm gets severed. Warm blood splatters. Old Boss screams in pain. The angel lifts his foot and kicks the guy right in the face. A single kick distorts his face, sending him flying backward. The 2 henchmen, seeing this, become tense. They rush to Old Boss to check on him. The angel jumps down, blocking their way. His face was pale and his eyes glinted with cruelty. Each of their fingers had been severed, and they screamed in agony. The angel stabbed them twice more. His hand tightened around their necks. He coldly said he didn't like killing. Why do you all keep seeking your own deaths? His grip tightened around the necks of these 2. Outside the police station, there was movement. The zombies were gathering. The angel quickly sensed it. He released his grip, letting the 2 drop. That feeling. Killing you would dirty my hands. You can fend for yourselves. The noise from the gunshots was too loud. This place isn't safe. They're coming. As soon as the angel jumped outside, he landed right in front of that zombie. They came quickly. The angel pulled out more knives. Just 1 minute would be enough. The knife severed the head of this zombie. Another one came. Each strike he delivered was decisive. At the same time, his arm began to evolve. The angel was sweating, exclaiming, "They came so fast." Looking at the horde of zombies approaching, he felt it was indeed a disaster waiting to happen. As the zombies advanced step by step, suddenly a light shone on his face. A car sped towards them, even knocking the zombies aside. Lam Sa poked her head out and asked, "Hey, Angel, I didn't trip you up, did I?" The angel praised her. "You did great. You really know how to drive." The girl replied, "I used to sneak drive my dad's car a few times." He quickly got into the car. "Then let's go." While they still hadn't come over here, the car drove away and Lao Tu stood behind, stunned. He turned back to report 3 of them ran away. Lao Ba angrily said, "Lao Tu will come back sooner or later." Lao Tu stammered, Three of them." He irritably asked, "What now?" He stared in shock at the scene. Zombies. What bad news is this? The zombies had gathered densely in front of the police station. We're surrounded. Meanwhile, the angel drove straight down the highway until dawn. Lam Sa, who had been sleeping in the back seat, woke up. It's morning. Where's the angel? The girl heard him counting. 992, 993, 994, 995, 996. Lam Sa called out, "Angel!" He was trying to do push-ups for the 997th time. "Wait for me a moment. 998, 999, 1000. Done. But I'm not as good as before." Yet he was sweating so much. The girl asked in disbelief, "Were you human before?" The angel replied, 1000 is normal. If I hadn't used the power of Ebola last night, I would have finished this 1000 long ago. How's the recovery now? Lam Sa chuckled. That's good. The angel sat back in the car and continued. 7 or 8 parts like this isn't dangerous. Just wait until we find a place. Resting for 2 days should allow for a full recovery. Let's head forward. There's a gas station. Let's check it out. Lam Sa smirked. Well then, hold on tight. The old driver said, I'm driving here. The girl stepped on the gas and the car shot off like a rocket. After a while, they pulled into a gas station. The angel holding a stick got out, while the boy shielded Lam Sa from behind. Wait, there are people here. Behind the door, 2 iron bars were secured. There must be someone alive inside. The girl admired, Your eyes are really good. He handed her the gun. Take it, and go check it out. Meanwhile, he closed his eyes and activated his mental power. There was someone inside, but he couldn't tell if they were alive or dead. The angel gripped the stick tightly. It's fine, I can handle this. He slammed hard against the glass door, shattering it. The angel made a path inside. As soon as he entered, he was surprised to see the gas station attendant slumped against the wall. The angel couldn't immediately tell if he was mutated. The man opened his eyes and looked at him in shock, because the man's hand was reaching out for help. Help me, I'm still alive. Seeing the angel sit down to check, Lam Sa leaned down and asked, What's wrong with him? He replied, I don't know, I've never encountered a situation like this before. The angel asked, Does he have any wounds? The man confirmed, Yes, my right hand. He looked at the bright red veins on that arm. He was amazed. How is he still alive with this kind of mutation? His eyes widened in shock at the sight of that arm. What is this? Seeing the attendant struggling, the angel reminded him, Take it slow. A knife was stuck in the attendant's hand. The Mamba bit down, feeling the pain. He bit his lip and exclaimed, So I was right. There's no mistake. In the angel's hand was a small stone. This is a piece of meteorite that fell from the sky. The girl hearing this doubted human life. Meteorites from the sky. The angel asked about the past. Do you still remember the last meteor shower? Lam Sa replied, I remember that's when the zombies appeared. He revealed, This is a piece of meteorite that fell, the source of the Ebola virus. Those of us who are still alive must have some resistance. As long as we don't come into contact, we'll be fine. This is a good item. It will definitely have great effects in the future. Lam Sa worriedly asked, So what should he do? The angel replied, He's already dead. It's really strange. It's a miracle he has lasted this long. But the man's fingers twitched slightly. Lamsa thought he was still alive, but he sensed danger and immediately shouted, "Back away!" The man's eyes opened. Inside, a red bloodshot gleam was evident. He slowly stood up, his body dark and gloomy. Lamsa hurriedly ran away, and the zombie chased after her, its mouth open towards the angel. He used his arm to block it, aiming the gun into the zombie's mouth. He sighed. "I can't hold on any longer." A loud bang echoed, accompanied by splattering blood. Lamsa called out, "Angel, are you okay?" The angel looked at the stone in his hand. "I never thought I'd be this lucky." In his previous life, a piece of meteorite could be sold for a high price. He said, "This thing is useless now. So let's put it away for now. Let's go fill up the gas. Our car's tank is running low." Lamsa curiously asked, "What exactly is the meteorite good for? Is it dangerous to keep it?" He suddenly asked, "Do you know who discovered the virus transmission technique I taught you? The first person to merge with a piece of meteorite merged with a meteorite." The girl was alarmed. "Will I turn into something like that?" The angel denied no. Humans don't have the premise to merge with meteorites. At most, they can only evolve 3 times. When the human body completes 3 mutations and reaches the highest limits, then they can absorb the power of the meteorite and use it. Lamsa curiously asked, "Has anyone ever merged with a meteorite?" The angel replied, "Not yet, there's no problem." The girl always had her doubts. "So how do you know?" He answered, "I told you I traveled back in time to get here." The girl casually said, "Yeah, that makes sense." The angel recalled his past life right before he died. Still, he hadn't found a piece of meteorite. Now it was easy to find one. This time he was determined to reach the peak. The car returned to the Chowfee shop. He welcomed them finally back home. The angel got out of the car with Lamsa. Chowfee looked at the girl in surprise. He misunderstood. "Is this your sister-in-law?" The angel denied it. "No." Chowfee seemed to understand. "Turns out you can only talk big. Since when did you start liking lolicons?" Despite his reminder not to talk nonsense, he stubbornly replied, "Don't hold back. It's not surprising for brothers to have common interests." Lamsa immediately stepped on Chowfee's foot. He yelled, "Ouch, it hurts!" He calmly said, "I told you not to talk nonsense." The angel changed the subject. "Has anyone come by in the last 2 days?" He reported, "No, it's been very quiet. Besides, I already said not to let anyone in." Remembering his sisters, the angel felt a bit frustrated. So why didn't they come? Chowfee curiously asked, "Who didn't come?" He replied, "Nothing much. Let me introduce you. Her name is Lamsa. She's the daughter of my benefactor." He introduced her to Chowfee. "This is my brother." Lamsa showed a look of disdain, scoffing, and not bothering to look at him. Chowfee changed the subject. "Haven't you found your sister-in-law?" The angel replied, "In a chaotic city like this, it's not that easy." He asked further, "What should we do next?" He mentioned that matter. "Didn't you say to go back to the hometown? Let's see how it is there." Chowfee exclaimed, "Ah, thank you." The angel cautioned, "But you need to be mentally prepared." Chowfee sadly understood. "I got it." Night gradually fell. While the two were sleeping, the angel woke up. Lamsa and Chowfee were sound asleep. He closed his eyes and began to cultivate. He sensed the last time he broke through to Ebola. "I felt it. This time the Ebola breakthrough will accelerate evolution, but the side effects are quite clear. Being injured and weak is minor. The most important thing is that it will increase the infectivity of the Ebola in the body. If my body doesn't have virus resistance, I could get infected and my whole body would mutate." His face was drenched in sweat. The angel secretly rejoiced, "I managed to suppress it. Before reaching stage 3, it's better to use less." However, the biggest gain this time was this. He estimated the meteorite in his hand to be about 200 grams. That's not too little, right? Back then, helping everyone, it was just me and Huyen who were lucky to successfully fuse over 100 grams of meteorite. Chowfee, sleeping beside him, mumbled, "Sister, that place is no good." He even had a nosebleed. The angel sighed. "What a heartless guy." Chowfee continued to mumble, No, we can't do that." He lay down on the bed. "You should rest now. You should lie down on the bed and rest." Outside, the gentle moonlight illuminated the night sky. In the early morning, the sunlight poured down on the shop. The angel continued doing push-ups, counting each one 2,999. Finally, the angel managed to do the 3,000th one. He felt satisfied, feeling good again. Lamsa woke up drowsily, looking at the angel. He urged the girl to wake up. Get up, let's get ready to go. Before we set off, I'll give each of you a few self-defense weapons. I'll take 2 of these 5 guns, and the other 2 will each get 1. There are also some supplies left in the car. Lamsa pouted. I want 2 guns, too. He refused, saying her strength and control over firearms weren't enough. 1 gun is enough. It could save your life in critical moments. The girl reluctantly accepted. The angel said to his friend, this combat gear is perfect for you. Put it on for self-defense. Cao Fi pouted, looking at the item in his hand. This is so ugly. The angel didn't care. What matters is that it can save your life in dangerous situations. Even though he complained, he had to endure it. He handed over a dagger. You should always carry this with you. It could save your life in dangerous moments. Lamsa and Cao Fi both exclaimed, it could save you in critical times. The angel nodded. Got it. He pulled out a map. Cao Fi estimated that from here to Cat County, the shortest route is about 900 kilometers. Driving would take around 12 hours. Lamsa calculated, so by night, we should be able to get there. The angel countered, if we take the shortcut, we'll pass through Sozhou City. This is one of the largest cities in the central region, and we definitely have to go through it. Why? If we go through a big city, we'll find a lot of supplies. The radiation infection level is 80%, 120 million people. Just think about how many zombies are there, 96 million. That's a playground for zombies, a hell for humanity. We could also choose to take a detour, although it's a bit longer, about 1,500 kilometers. Plus there's a section that goes through the mountains. But it's definitely safer, Cao Fi pointed out. But our fuel isn't enough. He analyzed. Right now, we only have a bit over 100 liters of gas. This vehicle is pretty heavy, so I hope. There are gas stations along the way. If not, we might just have to walk part of the way. As long as we can survive, everything else is easy. We'll travel about 8 hours a day, using the rest of the time to rest and train. If all goes well, we could reach Cat County the day after tomorrow. While we're still here, we definitely need to do one thing. While the 2 of them had a bad feeling, the angel rallied his spirit. He ordered everyone to do 500 push-ups. Also run 200 laps. Both of them were in despair. After completing the task, they lay on the ground panting. Cao Fi exclaimed, I want to die. Lamsa and Chung felt the same. The angel criticized them. Everyone has learned the basic guiding techniques already. And you're already tired from just this. Cao Fi angrily replied, Hey, are you kidding, 500? Are you even human? The girl reminded him of something. The other day, he did 1,000 push-ups in front of me. Yesterday morning, he did 3,000. The angel revealed, depending on the time spent training, the guiding techniques get longer. Everyone's physical training is getting better. The 6th level push-up on Earth is 3,877. Once everyone completes 2 rounds of evolution, they can easily defeat this 6th level. All right, stop acting all sulky. Get in the car. The 3 of them settled in the vehicle and started to leave. Let's go. The car sped down the road. Inside, the angel focused on driving while the other 2 slept. Cao Fi woke up and immediately asked the angel, How about I drive for a bit? You can take a nap. The angel skeptically asked if you knew how to drive. Cao Fi replied, What are you joking about? I was driving my dad's car for fun when I was 10. You refused, saying this was dangerous while driving. He confidently asserted that his driving skills were top-notch, no less than yours, and you could see Cao Fi getting ready to jump in. The angel was horrified. Oh my God, don't joke around. This is really dangerous. When they switched places, the angel reminded you to drive carefully and not scratch the car. You replied, Got it, while the angel settled in the back to rest. Suddenly, the car slammed to a halt. Lamsa was shocked, and you flew out of the back seat. The angel realized the trust placed was misplaced. Who told me your driving skills were good? Lamsa, with a swollen head, turned to scold. What's going on? Cao Fi looked at the long line of cars ahead. The road was jammed. The girl snapped, That's not a reason to stop suddenly. The angel sensed danger looming. You hurriedly ordered, Cao Fi, drive fast. The car door was being grabbed by a zombie. They gaped in shock as they were surrounded by zombies. Lam Sa and Chao Fi had tears in their eyes, terrified. Why are there so many? The angel urged from behind, "What are you waiting for? Open the gas tank for me." You agreed, "Okay," and slammed your foot on the gas. Chao Fi gritted her teeth, starting the car and speeding away like a rocket. Lam Sa swayed, unable to sit still as the car swerved. She worriedly asked, "There's a guardrail ahead, what now?" You replied, "What else can we do? Just go through it." The car crashed through the guardrail with zombies frantically chasing closely behind. The angel peered out to assess the situation. "Accelerate, they're about to catch up." Chao Fi cursed at the dire situation. The ground was littered with gravel, and she felt helpless. "We can't go fast on this road." The angel looked up at the toolbox, grabbing weapons and a gun preparing for battle. The roof of the car opened, and you climbed up with all your anger firing at them. You all die. At that moment, the angel was half standing on the roof of the car, using both guns to fire continuously at the pursuing zombies. The gunfire echoed loudly. Lam Sa beside you was also busy. The girl aimed straight and fired a shot that rang out. The bullet flew straight into the head of the fierce zombie in front of her. The bullet's power instantly smashed its head, and then the zombie fell backward, collapsing onto the frenzied horde of zombies. Suddenly, they all howled in unison. Then they accelerated, charging forward as if provoked. Chao Fi saw this and shouted loudly to warn the angel, "Look out ahead!" The angel also noticed and angrily shouted back, "Oh my God, what now?" When she saw the team's car was about to plunge into the river ahead in panic, Chao Fi tightened her grip on the steering wheel, trying to keep the car under control, then anxiously asked, "What should we do, angel?" The angel decisively replied, "Step on the gas, we're jumping over it." The car was getting closer to the river at breakneck speed. Chao Fi immediately retorted, "Are you crazy? If we fall, we're dead." But the angel had no intention of backing down. There was no time for second-guessing. It was all about luck, now. Soon, Chao Fi's eyes were filled with determination. "Fine, if we don't do this, we'll die anyway." She shifted gears and pressed down hard on the gas pedal. Meanwhile, the angel remained focused on dealing with the zombies behind. You spread your arms wide, holding two guns without letting go, while Lam Sa tightly closed her eyes, waiting for everything to unfold. Chao Fi gritted his teeth, steering the car forward. The bullets from the angel's gun kept firing at the zombies. The car was now speeding ahead, getting closer and closer to that river. The angel anxiously looked back to assess the situation, while Chao Fi put all his strength into controlling the steering wheel. A moment later, the car truly soared into the air. In the instant the car landed, there was a jolt. Lam Sa and Chao Fi, sitting inside, couldn't avoid the impact. Everyone closed their eyes, bracing for their fate, but surprisingly, the car that should have been submerged in the cold river now landed neatly on the bank. The angel was still fuming, unaware of this. He cursed under his breath, "Damn it, it can't end like this." Then the angel looked around in confusion. It seemed the outcome was not what he imagined. Before him was a lush green meadow in the evening light, along with peaceful houses scattered about. At that moment, Chao Fi slowly opened the door and stepped out of the car. He sighed in relief. "We made it." What a stroke of luck, but the car is badly damaged. Seeing the situation, the angel said, "Looks like we have to stay here tonight." Then he instructed the two of them, "For now, let's leave the car here. Grab some stuff, we're heading into the village ahead." Lam Sa immediately agreed. "All right, let's go." The angel did not hesitate any longer and turned towards the village. The three of them carried a little luggage and slowly made their way there. The sky was nearing dusk. The angel walked ahead, suddenly glancing around. He seemed to sense something. So he turned back to the other two and said, "Something feels off here." Lam Sa, not understanding, asked, "What's wrong?" A peaceful village at sunset. The sun slowly dipped behind the distant mountains with only the sound of rustling wind. In the quiet atmosphere, the angel expressed his doubts. "Don't you see it's way too quiet here? Not even the roar of a monster." The three of them had now entered the village and stopped to observe. Right after that, Chao Fi and Lam Sa were both on high alert, looking around while the angel immediately drew his gun ready to fight. Suddenly, someone stepped out. The angel's sharp gaze was fixed on the source of the noise, aiming his gun directly at it. Chao Fi and Lam Sa startled. Both shouted loudly at the same time, "Ah!" Just then, the person appeared, holding a weapon, a stick. The person stammered, Don't shoot." raising both hands, smiling in goodwill. I'm human. Kaofi and Lamsa sighed in relief upon realizing he was human. What a scare. But the angel still hadn't relaxed. Cautiously, he kept his gun pointed at the man and ordered, "Drop your weapon and come closer." Hearing this, the man immediately dropped the iron stick to the ground. Then the angel carefully checked, searching the suspicious guy. The man explained, "I really mean no harm." The angel coldly replied, "You're talking too much." At that moment, Chao Fi suddenly spoke up to help the angel. "He's a good guy." But that cautious person still asked, "Is he really a good person?" The guy blushed and smiled politely, saying it was too much praise. After checking everything, he then asked, "Are you here alone? Where are the others?" The guy cooperated and replied, "Yes, that's right. The others have all left, and the ones that remain are all dead. I'm the last one left in this village. Many people have already left. The kids went to school, and the adults went to work. Only the elderly are left in the village." The guy continued rambling. "My name is Din. I run a small grocery store. I never expected the world to turn so terrible like this." Meanwhile, the two fools. Over there, he was friendly chatting with the man he just met. Cao Fi immediately suggested needing a place to stay for the night, asking, "Can we stay at your house?" Din happily agreed, "Feel free to come in. It's been a week since I've seen anyone else alive like me. My house is also nearby." Lam Sa chimed in, thanking the hero, hearing that he was also not polite. He quickly expressed his gratitude. "I won't forget this favor, Cao Fi." Suddenly, an angel interrupted the cheerful atmosphere among the three of them, looking straight at Cao Fi. "Hold on, it's best not to go." Then the angel turned to Din, saying, "This village is quite deserted. How about we just pick a house to rest? The three of us don't want to disturb you." Lam Sa spoke up, rebutting, "Hey, angel, he's really a good person. We should be polite." Cao Fi agreed, leaning close to the angel and whispering, "You're really too suspicious. He doesn't look like a bad guy at all." The angel remained firm, replying, "Better safe than sorry." At this point, Din could only stand there watching them argue about him. Cao Fi spoke up again. "Angel, you're really overthinking this. He's really a good person. 4 is better than 1 after all." After a while, the angel was forced by his friend's reasoning, so he reluctantly accepted. "All right then. But we still have to be cautious of him." Cao Fi happily returned to his cheerful self, throwing an arm around the angel's shoulder, saying to Din, "Sorry about that. My friend here is a bit shy." No worries, Din replied comfortably. Finally, everyone arrived at Din's house. He awkwardly led everyone to a house. Din scratched his head, extending his hand to invite them in. He didn't know how much time had passed, but on the dining table there was already a steaming hot pot. It looked extremely appetizing. Seeing the hot pot full of toppings, Cao Fi and Lam Sa couldn't hide their greedy eyes. Din shyly smiled and said, "I don't cook very well, so please don't complain." The dining table was still filled with a variety of delicious dishes, and they ate to the point where they couldn't put their chopsticks down. Lam Sa chewed while complimenting the cooking skills. Seeing everyone enjoying the meal, he generously invited them to eat freely, not to hold back. Cao Fi, with his mouth full of food, replied, "Then I won't hold back anymore. It's been a while since I've had hot pot." Only the angel remained calm during the meal. Dean noticed this and turned to chat. "Brother, don't be shy. Just eat comfortably." But he still couldn't let his guard down, coldly replying, "Thanks, I can eat by myself." Then, as if he had prepared beforehand, he took out a few bottles of good wine to invite the angel. "Good brother, you're really nice. Since we met, why not have a few drinks together?" The angel mumbles to himself, "What a fate." And, in his eyes, there seems to flash a deep longing in that moment. The smiling face of Nyoquin appears in his mind, making him ache inside as he thinks, "I wonder if I'll ever meet you again." Cutting through his thoughts is Din Bin's cheerful voice. "Hey everyone, it's fate that we all got together to drink, right?" In just a moment, 4 glasses clink together and everyone cheers. Bottoms up. A little while later, everyone is completely drunk. Cao Fi is rambling and singing nonstop, "Throw me a bomb." "Throw me a bomb," Din Bin responds while catching him. "Fi, bro, you're too drunk." Even the usually careful angel has let himself go completely wasted. He unconsciously shouts, "I'll kill all you monsters." Lamsa struggles to help him into the room, complaining nonstop. "You've had too much to drink, angel. Oh my, you're so heavy." The 2 drunks crash onto the bed. The angel, still tipsy, mumbles Nguyen's name. Hearing this, Lam Sa shows a helpless expression. Even in this state, he's still thinking about that senior. He really is something. At this point, Din Bin speaks up. I'm really sorry, my place is quite small, so there aren't enough beds for everyone. Would you mind sleeping in my bed? Lam Sa gently replies, I'm sorry to trouble you. Suddenly, Din Bin smiles knowingly. But your alcohol tolerance is pretty good. You're still not drunk after all that. Lam Sa is startled, feeling uneasy. The little girl explains softly, I can't drink, so I just poured it into the cups of those two. It's hard to tell if it's the darkness or the man's face, but suddenly it turns grim. His eyes become even more bizarre as he replies, I get it now. Then Din Bin turns and walks away. Well, I won't disturb you any longer. I'm going to sleep now. At that moment, Lam Sa still doesn't realize anything unusual, so she politely replies, Thank you so much for tonight. He adds, No need to be so formal. After that, Din Bin slowly leaves. In the dark hallway, only the sound of his footsteps can be heard. Suddenly, Din Bin stops as if he has reached his destination. He straightens his face, then decisively pushes the door open. Behind that door is a kitchen reeking of blood. The whole room is shrouded in a gloomy atmosphere. On the dining table, there are tools scattered about, stained with blood. Next to it are chunks of meat, chopped and strewn all over the kitchen. He slowly walks inside as if it's a habit, wearing gloves still stained with blood. He ponders deeply, I should have killed those angels the moment I met them. But it's also because the angel kept getting in my way. Din Bin places a vial of tranquilizer on the table, recalling the angel's high alertness and silently lamenting, that little angel is really strong. The tranquilizer won't work on him, plus he has a gun. Standing in front of the blood-stained fridge, he resolves, but who cares, I'm still gonna kill him. The little one is hungry, I need to bring food for her. At this moment, the three angels are sleeping on the bed. Cao Fi, completely drunk, is mumbling, Don't, people don't like that. He's lost in a beautiful dream, mumbling nonsense, I told you not to. With Cao Fi's noise in the night, Lam Sa beside him is about to lose her patience. Her face is getting more and more scrunched up in annoyance, and then she sits up ready to kick that annoying guy. Can this annoying guy let me sleep, huh? But suddenly, Cao Fi seems to sense her discomfort. So he quickly turns to the other side and continues sleeping. Lam Sa sees this and can only roll her eyes, feeling completely speechless about this guy. But I'm so thirsty. Then she steps outside to find something to drink. However, Lam Sa fumbles around the living room and can't find it, mumbling, Where's the water? While searching for water, Lam Sa accidentally walks into the dim kitchen. She quickly covers her nose because the smell is too strong. This is the smell of blood. Is this a slaughterhouse? Lam Sa gathers her courage to step inside and observes. She spots the refrigerator. Is that a fridge? Without hesitation, Lam Sa uses both hands to start opening it. She is immediately horrified when she sees what's inside. Lam Sa anxiously wonders, what is this? A moment later, Lam Sa can't hold it in anymore and slams the fridge door shut. At that moment, fear flashes through her mind. Did I just eat this? Suddenly, a voice from beside her says, Don't worry. She instinctively turns to the source of the sound. Ding Bing stands at the door, coldly saying, What I fed you was pork. A moment later, he grabs a knife nearby. I was going to let you all have a way out. Ding Bing's eyes now show no humanity. But in a situation like this, it seems you all can't leave now. Lam Sa worries, thinking, This is bad, I left my gun in my backpack. Then she quickly grabs the knife from the table and fiercely points it at Ding Bing, shouting, Stay back! At this moment, Lam Sa can only stand back defensively from him while Ding Bing moves closer. He shows a disdainful attitude. You think you can kill me with that? But Lam Sa isn't afraid and responds, You arrogant jerk. We both have weapons. Why should I be sure you'll kill me? Yet inside, Lam Sa silently thanks the heavens. The breathing technique of the angel is indeed effective. She couldn't even hold this knife before. She looks at the killer in front of her and thinks, But I'm not as strong as the angel. I have to threaten him. Immediately, Lam Sa throws the knife. The blade spins like a whirlwind, flying straight towards Ding Bing. He reacts quickly, seeing the direction of the attack. Then, he skillfully leans to dodge the knife, which slices past him and embeds into the wall behind. The killer smirks mockingly. Whoa, that was close. At this moment, he doesn't notice that the girl has tightened her fist from behind, shouting, "What are you looking at?" In the next instant, she delivers a powerful punch to Ding Bing's lower region, causing him to double over in excruciating pain. It seems like a quail egg has officially left this world. He groans in agony, mouth agape, no longer able to pay attention to the girl, only clutching his lower body and wailing, "It hurts too much," while the killer writhes in pain. In the midst of the chaos, Lam Sa quickly seized the opportunity and dashed away without looking back. The girl hurried up the stairs, but just as she reached the middle step, she suddenly remembered something. "Wait, that angel and that idiot are still asleep. I have to stop him. I can't let him harm them." At that moment, Din Bin's footsteps caught up to her. The guy struggled to move forward, but he kept cursing under his breath. "That damn brat. You want to mess with my whole family, huh?" Seeing this, Lam Sa poked fun at him, calling him a little rat. Her words successfully drove Din Bin into a rage. The moment he let his guard down, Lam Sa hurriedly ran away again. Din Bin lost his cool, shouting, "Stop right there, brat. This time next year will be your death anniversary." Suddenly, Lam Sa froze for a few seconds, looking at the dark staircase. Is that the basement in front of her? She quickly looked around, confirming that he hadn't chased her here yet. So Lam Sa has made her decision then. I'll head down first. In the basement, it's just the night enveloping the moonlight. The window is the only source of light, casting the image of someone tightly bound to a chair. The slender silhouette of the bound person seems to be a woman. Her whole body trembles uncontrollably. At this moment, Lam Sa approaches and vaguely realizes there's someone there. The girl widens her eyes, holding still for a moment when she sees the woman tightly bound. She doesn't have time to think much and immediately rushes over to help her sister, who's been captured here. "Don't worry, I'll get you out right away." But unexpectedly, the woman turns around abruptly, her face twisted and fierce. It turns out that it's not a person, but a zombie. A wave of fear washes over Lam Sa, causing her to scream and instinctively back away, falling onto the cold ground. She looks at what's in front of her and wonders, what is this? Is it a mannequin? She observes its decaying, incomplete hand and vaguely realizes this is a human hand. The girl immediately feels disgusted and throws the hand away. "Gross, that's disgusting." The zombie continues to scream beside her, but the little girl quickly regains her composure and carefully observes. This is definitely an infected monster. Meanwhile, the hurried steps of Din Bin finally reach the place. The girl lightly recognizes the guy arriving, and he storms in, shouting loudly, "Where's your mother?" Din Bin scans the entire room, pacing back and forth, looking around without missing a single corner. At this moment, Lam Sa is holding her breath, hiding in a corner, hearing him continuously searching for her. Is there no one? That zombie! Seeing Din Bin approach, it becomes even more agitated, trembling violently. However, he speaks in a gentle tone. "What's wrong, my love?" Din Bin gazes at that terrifying thing with a lovesick look. He softly calls out the name of Tu Viet. After that, he gently touches her tightly bound hands. Then he leans down and kisses Tu Viet's hand, saying, "You've suffered so much." Lam Sa, hiding to the side, witnesses that disgusting scene. He treats a monster as his wife. Truly perverse. Din Bin gently tells Tu Viet, "I'm so sorry, my beloved wife. I have no choice but to keep you down here in the basement." Then he slowly raises his hand to her face, saying, "But don't worry." Din Bin gently strokes his wife's cheek, softly saying, "I will definitely visit you often." Suddenly, his gaze stops for a moment, noticing the hand lying on the ground. The corners of his mouth slowly lift into a chilling smile. "Looks like we have a guest." He slowly picks up the blood-stained knife, his hoarse voice ringing out toward the corner where Lam Sa is hiding. "You think you can still hide in there?" The girl bravely steps out, looking at him with disdain. "You're really hopeless. How can you fall in love with a monster?" Din Bin, feeling cornered, shouts, "She's my wife. What's wrong with a husband caring for his wife?" He looks at Tu Viet, tightly bound to the chair, and suddenly seems to lose control, going madly repeating, "There's nothing wrong. She will always be my wife." He keeps insisting she's my wife forever. Lam Sa furrows her brows, feeling uncomfortable, and says, "Wake up. She's already dead." But that deluded person stubbornly refuses to believe the truth, retorting nonsensically, "She can still move, run, and even eat." He looks at her mouth wide open with desire. That's for sure. Din Bin seems to have lost all rationality at this point. But she's still alive, and above all, she's my fiancée. After that, he suddenly remembers, it's been days since my wife had fresh meat. Right. Then Dinbin takes the knife and slowly walks towards the girl, standing there smiling with a crazed look in his eyes. His hoarse voice echoes in the cold basement. My wife is hungry, so just behave so I can feed my wife, okay? With his sharp intuition, Lamb immediately sensed the chilling aura surrounding him. At that moment, the killer fixed a cruel gaze on Lamb. The small Lamb stood in front of him, and the smile on his face twisted more and more, making Lamb feel increasingly on edge. In the next moment, she lifted her foot, ready to kick him. But just as she swung her foot, he swiftly dodged to the side. Immediately after, he grabbed Lamb's legs, his grip tightening, rendering her unable to move. Lamb looked at the knife close to her feet and screamed, "Let me go!" But of course, when someone has lost all reason, they don't have any intention of stopping. You still think you can escape? Then he raised the knife high as if to bring it down. I'll chop you up and feed you to my wife. Just as the knife was about to strike down on her slender legs, a gunshot rang out, shattering the air and cutting through everything. The bullet hit the knife in his hand, dead on. Both Lamb and he froze for a few seconds. It turned out the shooter was the angel. Lamb joyfully called out his name while the man grew even more agitated. But the angel's condition wasn't great either. He vaguely thought there might be something in the alcohol. I let my guard down too much. I can't recover if I'm poisoned. Then he immediately hugged Lamb, pressing the knife to her neck, threatening, drop the gun or I'll kill her. At this moment, he glanced up and saw the window was open, suddenly realizing, how careless of me, I forgot there was a window down here. Looks like you crawled in through there, the angel demanded directly. Let her go. However, he refused and replied, you think I'm scared. I have a hostage, so why should I be afraid? Drop the gun. Hearing this, the angel coldly asked back, you want to use the hostage? Without hesitation, he aimed the gun straight at the little girl's head. I have a hostage too. A man who loves his wife like him immediately panicked and shouted. His grip on Lamb tightened even more, and he pointed the knife at the angel, cursing him to drop the gun. At this moment, the angel calmly made a request. Let her go first. But the man didn't want to compromise and said, no way. Hearing that response, the angel firmly spoke up. Then I'll send this monster to hell. The little girl was now groaning incessantly, as if trying to escape from the ropes binding her to the chair. Seeing his wife in danger, tears streamed down the man's face. Then he switched to a pleading tone. Please don't shoot me. I can't live without her. Hearing this, the angel repeated his request. Then let her go in good faith. I guarantee this monster won't die. Only then did the man agree. Fine, I'll trade the hostage with you. Just don't. Shoot. Suddenly, the ropes binding the little girl seemed to loosen a bit. Seeing him willing to trade the hostage, the angel paused his actions for a moment and slowly walked towards him. At this point, the man turned pale with fear as the angel took each step closer, and he still hadn't lowered his gun. Suddenly, the next rope on the little girl's body snapped. With a jerk, she immediately struggled free from the bindings in an instant. All three stood frozen, shocked by the unexpected scene. No one could have anticipated this. At that moment, the angel turned to look and saw the little girl had completely freed herself. The man immediately shouted, I love you, Lamb. Taking advantage of his distraction, she bit his hand hard and quickly ran away from his control. Meanwhile, the angel didn't hesitate to reload and aimed the gun straight at the wife. Just then, the man panicked and rushed to stop him. Stop! At the exact moment the angel fired, the husband stood in front of his wife, taking a bullet to the chest. Just then, Dinbin rushed over to block her, stopping at the exact moment the angel fired. That reckless husband stood in front of his wife and took a bullet to the chest. The two angels, Lam Sa and the other, were completely taken aback by the situation. In the next moment, Dinbin's body staggered and fell to the ground. He lay on the cold earth, then tried to push himself up. Blood was continuously flowing from his wound. However, Dinbin still focused all his attention on Tu Viet. Honey, are you okay? The husband was so blindly devoted to his wife. He couldn't hold back. He looked up at his wife, who was twisting in front of him. Her lifeless gaze was fixed on Dinbin. He felt relieved that Tu Viet was okay and called out to her. Then a wave of painful memories flooded back into Dinbin's mind. Just when Tu Viet was about to become a monster, she had begged her husband to please kill her. I can't live anymore. At that time, Dinbin reassured her not to say such things. It's okay. You'll be fine. But his wife was determined to end her life before she became a disgusting monster, so she told her husband, "Kill me. I don't want to become one of those monsters and hurt you." Dinbin embraced her, comforting her. "Why would you say that? No matter what, you have to live." Tu Viet gently nestled into the arms of the man she loved, but reality was always cruel. At that moment, Dinbin realized the harsh truth. His gaze was somewhat bewildered as he looked at the wife he had always loved. The present was so different from the past. In the next moment, the zombie immediately bit down hard on Dinbin's neck. Lam Sa and the angel could only stand there frozen, watching the situation unfold. The surrounding space was completely silent, with only the crunching sounds of the monster named Tu Viet remaining. Dinbin was still dazed, not understanding what was happening, even as what he stubbornly called his wife was viciously tearing at him. He stood there, his eyes gradually becoming lifeless. The angel and Lam Sa stood there silently watching the unbelievable scene before them. While she was frantically gnawing at Dinbin, the angel behind raised his gun. A moment later, he decisively fired a shot, hitting her squarely in the head. On the two faces that had always been calm, there was now a hint of sadness as they looked at the two bodies lying on the ground. The angel spoke to reassure Lam Sa, "Don't think too much. That guy and she were already dead. There are no emotions or feelings left." Saying that, he turned and walked away. "Let's go." Lam Sa paused for a moment, but in the end she still turned away. She ran after her brother. After just a few steps, disappointment flashed in Lam Sa's eyes as she turned to look back at the two cold figures lying there. Then she turned to face the back of the angel. At that moment, Lam Sa hesitated to express her feelings. Why has this world become like this? The little girl bowed her head in thought. If it weren't for the pandemic, Dinbin would have lived happily with his wife. The angel agreed, saying, "You're right. If it weren't for the pandemic, you and Cao Fi would be living normally, and maybe we'd be in school right now." As he said this, he slowly lit a cigarette and added, "But this world is still plagued by the pandemic. That's the truth." He took a drag from the cigarette and instructed the little girl. He slowly lit a cigarette and added, "But this world is still plagued by a pandemic. That's the truth." He took a drag and advised the girl. "Lam Sa, listen up. Right now, you just need to remember one thing. Do whatever it takes to survive." The angel's voice echoed through the quiet night, illuminated by the cold, bright moonlight that enveloped the space. The next morning, a few angels stood in front of their vehicle. The angel casually stood to the side smoking, while Lam Sa sat next to the car doing something. Suddenly, Cao Fi reached out from under the car, commanding Lam Sa, "Hurry up with the wrench." She complied and handed him the wrench, but with a hint of doubt in her voice she asked, "Do you really know how to fix this?" Cao Fi boasted in response, "Didn't I tell you? I knew how to fix cars when I was 10. Saying that, he looked at the wrench in his hand. Moments later, he unexpectedly poked his head out from under the car, his face twisted in a teasing grin that startled Lam Sa. Annoyed, she threw the wrench straight at that idiot's face. "What are you staring at, you pervert?" They continued bickering without pause. Cao Fi, unyielding, argued back, "You think I want to look at your flat chest?" Lam Sa, hit where it hurt, became even more irritated. She cursed him, "You dare say that I hope you end up with a wife who's even flatter." At this point, the angels could only watch helplessly as the two of them caused a ruckus. After that, he raised his hand to observe before falling into deep thought. Ever since he successfully evolved, he hadn't made any breakthroughs at level 1. Perhaps battles like this weren't enough to level up. A moment later, Cao Fi announced he had finished fixing the car, surprising the angel. That was fast. He began to feel smug, saying, "What else can I say? I could even take apart and reassemble a tank, but this car was just a piece of cake." The angel, uninterested in his bragging, immediately said, "All right, let's go now." Hearing that, Cao Fi felt a bit dissatisfied. "At least you could compliment me." In the distance, the sun began to rise higher in the clear, peaceful sky with white clouds. But in stark contrast to that tranquility, a horde of monsters lurked near a gas station nearby. Over here, Cao Fi asked his friend, who was standing on the roof of the car, using binoculars to observe, "What do you see over there?" The angel replied, "A few monsters, but they're not too concerning." Cao Fi suggested, "Then let's take a different route." But the angel coldly said no. Suddenly, Cao Fi felt his friend staring at him intently. Eventually, he became so flustered that his face turned red while the angel wore a sly smile. Unable to take it anymore, Cao Fi spoke up. "What are you looking at?" The angel calmly replied, "Don't mind me. I just came up with a few good ideas." Cao Fi, feeling helpless, said, "Don't do that." A moment later, Cao Fi suddenly froze his hands, trembling as if forced to grip two swords. The young man couldn't accept the reality and asked, "Do we really have to do this?" The angel explained calmly, "If you want to evolve quickly, you need to participate in battles." Lam Sa didn't forget to tease Cao Fi, "You're a man, so what are you afraid of?" However, she couldn't escape either, as the next moment the angel threw a gun at her and said, "Don't worry, this beauty will go with you." She immediately froze. "Wait, I have to go too." The angel added, "Just go already, don't waste time. It's just a few silly monsters." Lam Sa complained, pointing at the monsters ahead. "This is just a few silly ones." But the angel remained completely unfazed, smoking while replying, "They're all unevolved and move very slowly. In the end, they're just small fry." Yet she still refused to leave. But the angel immediately interrupted, "No buts allowed." Then he loaded the gun and shot around into the sky. "Remember, you have to survive." The little girl's eyes widened in shock at the action. His decisiveness was clear. He hadn't had time to prepare for a wave of zombies that could come in an instant. The angel's shot startled the nearby birds. They scattered chaotically across the sky. Lam Sa and Cao Fi were stunned, their eyes glued to the smoking barrel of the gun. The nearby zombies were drawn in by the loud noise. They all turned toward the source of the sound. Nearby, there was a large house standing tall, easily visible amidst the surroundings. Inside the house, a monster lay sprawled on the ground. Suddenly, its body began to writhe violently. Then 3 gashes tore open its back, from which 3 sharp spikes emerged. The zombie's eyes rolled back, filled with terrifying bloodshot veins. On the other side, the monster's arm was severed by Cao Fi, flying off into the distance. He plunged a knife into its throat and decisively swung again, delivering a fatal blow to the zombie's head. Cao Fi and Lam Sa stood on top of the car, relentlessly attacking. The horde of monsters charged at them. In that tense moment, Cao Fi shouted angrily, "How many more of them are there?" Lam Sa was busy fighting and didn't want to reply. "Don't ask me." Suddenly at that moment, a zombie lunged at Cao Fi from behind. He startled and turned around. "Oh no!" He quickly raised his knife to defend himself, but his whole body trembled, unable to hold steady. He shouted for help. "Someone come help me!" The little girl heard and quickly replied, "There are too many over here." In that precarious moment, suddenly a bullet flew in, hitting the monster right in the head. In Cao Fi's astonishment, he turned to look in the direction the bullet came from. It turned out that the shot was from the angel, who was leisurely lying on the roof of the gas station observing. Then he called out loudly to Cao Fi, "What are you looking at? If you're distracted while fighting, you'll be dead." Cao Fi regained his focus and swung his knife, knocking the zombie in front of him down. At that moment, his gaze was filled with determination, concentrating on the fight, causing 2 or 3 monsters to have their heads smashed in. Lam Sa beside him was also very serious in her attack. She aimed perfectly and pulled the trigger. The bullet flew straight, blowing the head off the zombie in front. They fought from when the sky was still blue until the light began to fade. Both were exhausted, collapsing to the ground, panting heavily. Cao Fi asked, "Are you okay?" Lam Sa replied briefly, "Still alive." As a day of hard training came to an end, now the angel finally descended from above. He continued to demand, "No breaks yet. Now we're going to train to process the virus through breathing. Get up." The 2 of them immediately sat up, but they didn't forget to complain. "This is really cruel, losing all humanity." The angel, seeing this, pouted and said, "You're already whining after just this? Then I have to make you train even more." They both immediately flared up in anger, shouting, "More!" A second later, the angel became incredibly serious, issuing orders to start immediately. A while later, as evening approached, he stood observing them as they focused on their training. At that moment, Lam Sa's body suddenly underwent a change. Strange patterns appeared on her shoulders. Then her whole body radiated a sparkling light. The angel carefully watched this transformation. He noticed that her training speed was improving significantly and sighed inwardly. Just like father, like daughter. Just like Han, evolving quickly. Then he turned his gaze towards Cao Fi. The angel looked at him critically, noting, "Afai hasn't shown any progress yet." Suddenly the angel had an idea. Maybe a change of location is needed for evolution. He pondered for a moment, then internally rebutted himself. There's no way evolution works like that. It definitely can't be. Yet he looked into the distance, pondering for a while. A large house lay at the foot of the mountain, coming into the angel's view. He seemed to sense something that feeling. Then he quickly grabbed the sword and headed towards the house. The carefree angel finally made the decision to check it out. Not long after that, the angel stood in front of the suspicious house, his keen nose quickly detecting the faint smell of blood lingering around. Still, he decided to open the door and step inside. The first thing that caught his eye was the dismembered body parts scattered all over the floor. The angel ventured deeper inside his agile body, weaving through the corpses littered at his feet, the bright red blood staining the walls. Then he looked around again. Suddenly, something rushed at him from behind with terrifying speed. He felt a chilling aura brush against his neck. Instantly turning around, his eyes widened in shock at what was coming at him. Before he could react, a tremendous force slammed into him, sending him flying through the roof. The violent impact made the angel spit out a mouthful of bright red blood. In the next moment, he fell straight to the ground with a crash like thunder, gasping for breath and muttering in despair. It hurt so much. But the angel quickly grabbed the sword and slowly stood up, extremely annoyed at being ambushed. He demanded to know who did this, staring intently ahead. But in the next moment, his eyes flashed with fear as the dust began to settle. The shape of a huge monster became clear, its bizarre form covered in tough skin that made the angel wary. It turned out to be a solitary fighter, facing this formidable opponent. Many thoughts surged through his mind. It was a special mutation, a demon that preferred to fight alone, but it was incredibly strong. It seemed unlikely he would make it out alive. At that moment, the solitary fighter took a deep breath, as if preparing for the next strike. The angel immediately focused all his strength, ready to engage. Instantly, the monster roared wildly. It threw a gigantic punch straight at him. Feeling the lethal aura approaching, the angel reacted in an instant, just as that massive hand was about to hit him. He cleverly flipped to dodge his legs, pushing off the nearby tree, his body rebounding like a spring in the next moment. The angel shot out from the tree, racing like a bullet, locking onto the solitary fighter as it remained unaware. He raised his sword, ready to strike hard at it. Then the angel spun in midair, using both swords to deliver a powerful slash to the monster's back. The solitary fighter took a painful blow. It immediately became enraged, its eyes flashing with a fierce red glare. The demon then turned around and launched a counterattack. The angel quickly noticed its next move. However, having just unleashed all his strength and being too close, he couldn't avoid taking a full blow to the stomach. In the next moment, his body was sent flying far away. He rolled several times on the ground, dirt and rocks flying everywhere, dust swirling. Before he came to a stop, the angel in pain could only lie still as the solitary fighter slowly approached. At this moment, he could only admit a frustrating truth: the gap in power was too great. The monster stood proudly before the angel, who struggled to get back up. Then it tensed its arm again, preparing to punch him once more. But just in that life-and-death moment, 2 loud gunshots rang out, startling the angel. The solitary fighter was hit by 2 bullets right between the eyes. It immediately howled in pain, the sound echoing throughout the area. The angel looked at the monster in surprise. He quickly turned towards the direction of the bullets. From the thick cloud of dust, a familiar figure gradually emerged. He exclaimed in confusion, "That's..." It turned out the person who appeared was Cao Fi, standing there with a bewildered expression. The angel shouted, "Cao Fi, is that you?" In his hands, he still held 2 smoking guns. Cao Fi smirked proudly and said, "Didn't expect this, huh? Even I can be useful sometimes." The next day, Cao Fi immediately opened fire in rapid succession at the lone traveler. Then he shouted loudly for the angel to get out of the way. The angel quickly dodged the bullets while each shot kept coming. They pierced straight into the monster's head. He turned back astonished at the scene before him in that moment. The angel couldn't help but be amazed at Cao Fi's shooting skills, even from such a distance. He was still hitting the monster right in the head. A series of bullets continued to fly in from afar, targeting the lone traveler's head. Then the angel yelled at Cao Fi, "Quick, find its weak spot." And Cao Fi immediately responded. Then Cao Fi added, "Hold it down for me." Hearing that the angel picked up a rock and threw it straight at its head, He shouted loudly to draw the attention of the poison demon. "Hey, your grandpa is over here." Sure enough, it immediately turned towards the angel. The next moment, the lone traveler appeared before him in a flash, ready to attack. Right after that, it threw a powerful punch down at the spot where the angel had just stood. But he nimbly jumped up to dodge. The angel quickly took advantage of the momentum to kick the monster in the head from midair. However, it unexpectedly grabbed his leg. At that moment, he felt a surge of fear and thought to himself, "I'm done for." The lone traveler threw a punch from below, hitting the angel straight up. Then it swung another punch, but this time he managed to dodge just in time. At that moment, the lone traveler grabbed the angel's ankle. Immediately, the angel signaled for help. "Fi, hurry!" Cao Fi stood there fully focused, watching every movement of the monster, holding him down. The angel tossed him aside and then pulled him back. Next, it seemed like it wanted to slam him hard into the ground. At that moment, the angel's body was almost crashing violently against the ground. Cao Fi stared intently at the lone traveler as if he had discovered its weak point. He looked straight at the monster's temple and his eyes lit up. The very next second, Cao Fi seized the opportunity, firing bullets from both guns directly at the lone traveler's weak spot. At that moment, the bullet accurately pierced through the center of the lone traveler's temple. Then it fell out immediately. Sure enough, just moments later, the monster's head cracked open. At that moment, the angel broke free from its control and landed on the ground. He and the monster lay side by side on the grass, and Cao Fi immediately rejoiced. "I did it." However, at that moment, the lone traveler was still not fully down. It was still trembling, wanting to counterattack. The angel slowly stood up and said, "You have quite the life, huh?" Saying that, he gripped its head tightly with both hands. The lone traveler used all its strength, finally wanting to push the angel away. But of course, he had no intention of letting go. The angel bent down, straining himself to the point. His teeth clenched tightly together. Then he put all his strength into the next action, smashing the lone traveler's head and spine clean off its body. The angel threw it aside, rolling on the grass when everything was over. Cao Fi rushed over to check on the angel. "Are you okay?" The angel praised Cao Fi. "You did it." Cao Fi uncertainly replied, "I guess so." The angel, panting heavily, curiously asked, "So that's your ability after evolving?" At that moment, Cao Fi suddenly became serious. He picked up a stone and asked the angel, "Do you see that leaf falling over there?" The angel looked far away and indeed saw a tiny leaf falling down. Cao Fi immediately got into position to throw, then decisively threw the stone. Watch this. Right after that, the stone hit exactly the small leaf, and it pierced straight into the trunk of the nearby tree. The angel was extremely amazed looking at this formidable power. Cao Fi, trying to look cool, said, "What do you think?" The angel hugged him, praising him. "You're really impressive." Cao Fi, a bit shy, replied, "Me? Really?" Cao Fi widened his eyes, making himself look small like a dot. The angel asked him if he could see anything over there. Cao Fi replied, "Yeah, I can see it." Cao Fi looked at the stone pillar 100 meters away and read to see 520618. Indeed, there were numbers on the stone pillar, just as Cao Fi said. He felt smug, saying, "This distance is no longer a problem now after evolving." The movements of the monsters seemed naturally slower to me. Everything around was clearer. I could even recognize a fly. The angel exclaimed in surprise. "It's a breakthrough in vision, evolving the nervous system, not just the limbs. You're truly remarkable." Saying that, the angel patted Cao Fi's shoulder. "Now, let's head back and rest." "I'll find you a sniper rifle." Cao Fi quietly smiled with satisfaction. He clenched his fist and softly said, "Finally, I can be of help to you." Hearing that, the angel encouraged him by patting Cao Fi on the back. "What are you talking about? We're friends after all." Cao Fi felt a bit touched by the reassurance. He bit his lip and then reached out to his friend, saying, "Angel, no matter what the future holds, I'll stick with you." Cao Fi looked serious, staring straight at the angel. The angel smiled, raised his hand to ruffle Cao Fi's hair, and then fist-bumped him. "Always brothers." On the other side, Lam Sa furrowed her brows, concentrating all her spirit. The little girl sat in meditation among the monsters that had been defeated earlier. At this moment, streams of energy continuously swirled around her body. Accompanied by strange patterns appearing on her shoulder, Lam Sa suddenly opened her eyes wide, her gaze blank and lifeless. Then hot energy began to rise around her. causing Lam Sa to cry out in pain as she lifted her head. A moment later, the little girl seemed to lose control, continuously roaring fiercely. The angel suddenly noticed something was wrong. He and Cao Fi hurriedly ran over. "This isn't good," Cao Fi anxiously asked. "What's wrong with Lam Sa?" The angel explained, "She's evolving too quickly. Her body can't handle it. She's about to go berserk." Cao Fi panicked. "So what do we do?" The angel replied, "There's no other choice. We have to use it." His arm immediately raised. A moment later, the angel coldly used all his strength to slap Lam Sa's face hard, causing it to swell and distort. The little girl trembled continuously. "It hurts too much." At that moment, Lam Sa finally woke up and shouted, "You bastard Cao Fi, how dare you hit me?" Cao Fi quickly explained, "But it wasn't me." But Lam Sa didn't believe him and suspiciously asked, "Who else could it be?" Cao Fi shouted, "It really wasn't me. It was the angel." However, Lam Sa still insisted on not believing it. Why would the angel hit me at that moment? The angel took a puff of smoke and calmly admitted, "Don't hit me anymore. If I hadn't slapped you to wake you up, you would have gone berserk and turned into a monster." That would have been something. Hearing that she finally stopped hitting Cao Fi, the little girl with a reluctant attitude let Cao Fi go and said, "For the angel's sake, I'll spare your life." Cao Fi, bruised and lying on the ground, cried without tears, "But I didn't do anything." The angel tossed the cigarette away and lifted his foot to walk away. Then he spoke up, "Let's go. Tonight we'll sleep at the gas station. Tomorrow we start our journey back in time to the past when Cao Fi was still a child. Back then he was pushed by a bad friend, and instinctively, he put his hands out in front of him, accidentally touching the little boy's chest. The boy was squeezed by Cao Fi and immediately cried out, "You pervert!" He was bewildered, not understanding what was happening. But the friend who set you up is grinning with satisfaction, while the other two are mocking. Cao Fi is being harassed by the kid and quickly runs to tell the teacher. Then, feeling dejected, Cao Fi says in a pitiful voice, "Teacher, I really didn't do anything." But the teacher didn't believe him. "You call your parents to talk to me." When Cao Fi's mother arrived, she was immediately scolded by the kid's mother. "You're so young and already have such twisted desires. I can't imagine what kind of person you'll become in the future. You're a mother and can't even raise your own child. A child goes bad because of their mother. With an uneducated mother like you, it's no surprise." Cao Fi's mother said nothing, just silently listened as she was cursed at with vulgar words. "Your little thug son dared to harass my kid? You all should just go die." Cao Fi also spoke up, "But aunt, I really didn't do anything. Someone pushed me." She didn't bother to listen to his explanation and continued to threaten him. "I will definitely recommend the school to expel you." At that moment, Cao Fi's mother couldn't take it anymore and grabbed Cao Fi's hand, turning to leave. Meanwhile, the kid's mother kept shouting from behind, "Hey, I haven't finished talking yet. Who let you go?" The two of them walked a bit far. While Cao Fi was still drowning in despair because no one believed him, suddenly his mother said firmly, "I believe you didn't do that." She looked at her son with a gentle smile. "I know my Cao Fi would never do something immoral." Then she sat down to comfort the crying Cao Fi. "Let's go home now. What do you want to eat tonight? I'll cook." Back to reality, Cao Fi's gaze turned sad as he recalled the past. Seeing this, the angel asked, "What are you thinking about?" Cao Fi replied, "Don't mind me, it's just old stuff." Although he heard his friend's reassuring words, the angel couldn't help but glance at Cao Fi. When they all reached District D, Cao Fi asked which way to go. The angel replied, "Just go straight." After a while, the group stood in front of an apartment building, which was where Cao Fi's mother lived. The angel reminded them to be very careful. "There are definitely monsters around here." He looked at Tubok and instructed, "You stay here." It obediently chirped a few times. The angel then looked at Cao Fi and emphasized, "If anything happens later, pay attention to my orders, got it?" Cao Fi bit his lip, trying to suppress his worry. "I don't know if my parents are safe." The angel reassured him. "They will be fine. Now, let's focus on what's ahead." The three of them entered the building together. The angel reminded them once more, "Pay attention to every move. We can't let those monsters find us." Inside the apartment, there were a bunch of monsters sprawled on the floor, one on top of the other. As soon as the angel's group opened the door, they saw the monsters taken down. Cao Fi, confused, asked, "What's going on?" The angel speculated that someone was here. Looks like they left. Suddenly, Chao Fi's expression turned anxious. He grabbed a gun and ran deeper inside. The angel immediately shouted, "Where are you running off to?" Then he and Lam Sa chased after Chao Fi. "Wait, Fi!" The sound of hurried footsteps echoed as they rushed up the stairs. When they reached the upper floor, the angel looked around for his friend. He called out loudly, "Fi!" But all he saw were piles of zombie corpses on the floor, and Chao Fi was nowhere to be found. Lam Sa asked in surprise, "Where did he go?" The angel, frustrated, gritted his teeth and said, "He runs really fast. He should be here." Suddenly, they both heard a piercing scream from the next room. Angel and Lam Sa immediately realized that Chao Fi was over there. Without hesitation, they quickly ran over. Chao Fi was firing his gun non-stop. At that moment, he lost control and screamed in pain. His eyes gradually became vacant as he looked at the scene before him. Angel and Lam Sa approached from behind, watching Chao Fi frantically shooting. Angel widened his eyes in shock, calling out to him. Chao Fi collapsed in front of the room's door. He was so shocked that he couldn't speak. Chao Fi's expression was dazed. After a while, he remained frozen, and then his face went pale, his breath becoming chaotic. Chao Fi bowed his head in despair. Angel saw his friend holding his head in panic and stepped forward to ask, "What happened?" Before Angel could hear the answer, he accidentally glanced to the side and saw the mangled corpse of Chao Fi's mother hanging from the ceiling. Chao Fi's mother was tightly bound, her body covered in wounds, suspended in midair. Below her were a few other zombie corpses. Chao Fi cried until his eyes were blurred. Tears streamed down his face, accompanied by a painful call of "Mom." He looked at his mother in such a state. He screamed even louder. Both Angel and Lam Sa were frozen in shock. Their expressions immediately turned somber. Chao Fi looked up to the sky, crying mournfully. Angel observed for a moment and made a conclusion. Someone hung her up for those monsters to devour. Hearing this, Chao Fi cried even louder. Angel closed his eyes and let out a cold huff. Lam Sa, furious, gritted his teeth and said, "What kind of beast does this?" Suddenly, Chao Fi slowly stood up. Lam Sa reached out, calling Chao Fi. He walked past Angel crying and approached his mother's corpse, staring for a moment. Then his body trembled violently. He raised his hand, wanting to touch his mother's face, his voice shaking as he called out, "Mom." But now, Chao Fi's mother had also become a monster. She suddenly opened her eyes wide, glaring terrifyingly. Just as she screamed violently, Angel rushed in to hug Chao Fi, pulling him away. Chao Fi's eyes were filled with utter despair. The mother he loved so much had now turned into a grotesque zombie. Chao Fi cried, his tears and snot running down his face. He buried his face, unable to believe the reality before him. He kept denying it. "No, no, Mom." Chao Fi's hand, which was relaxed, suddenly tightened as he cursed, "Damn it." His heartbreak had now turned into extreme rage. In the next moment, Chao Fi dashed forward like lightning. Angel raised his voice to stop him. "Chao Fi, stop! I'm telling you to stop! Let me talk!" Then Angel immediately fired a shot into the sky. The loud sound of the gunshot finally made Chao Fi halt. Taking the opportunity, Angel asked, "Where are you planning to go?" Chao Fi replied emotionlessly, "To find that bastard." But in the next moment, Chao Fi's eyes were filled with rage as he shouted, "And kill all of them!" Angel scolded Chao Fi. "Do you even know where they are? How many of them are there? Do they have guns? Do you know, don't be reckless like that. Do you want to die?" Chao Fi clenched his fists in frustration. Then Angel gently continued, "I know you hate them, but being blind like this won't solve anything." Then Angel approached the door of the room where Chao Fi's mother was hanging. He decisively closed the door. "Now we're going to do this." Angel raised his gun, aiming straight at the door. "Rest in peace!" Lam Sa's mood also sank. Chao Fi had stopped crying, but now he cried even harder. The gunshot rang out, signaling the end of a life. The sky was gradually turning dark. The three of them worked together to make a grave for Chao Fi's mother. Chao Fi knelt before his mother's grave, sobbing. At this moment, Angel spoke up, reminding him not to be sad. "You seem to have forgotten something." Chao Fi realized what Angel was saying. "Your father is still alive." Then Chao Fi regained his composure. "That's right. My father must still be alive." Lam Sa curiously asked, "Has your family ever had any enemies?" Cao Fi, confused and angry, was thrown down to the ground by his father's attackers. One of the gang members spoke up. "Boss, we've got this old man now." The so-called boss stomped his foot on the ground, shouting, "Cao Tree!" Cao Tree struggled to look up at the bastard, his voice roaring with rage and authority. Fi Wei, with a contemptuous gaze, smugly said, "Who would have thought a Cao Tree like you would end up like this?" Cao Tree was consumed by his fury. He charged at them, desperate to fight back, but the little strength he had left was immediately thwarted by a powerful punch from Fi Wei. Cao Tree, bloodied, lay face down on the ground, cursed as a fool by him. Then Fi Wei ordered his men, "Take him out there and make sure to take good care of him." The gang members obediently followed the boss's orders. Then he turned to Bang Tu and asked about the boss's wife. With a cruel smile, the guy replied, "I did exactly what you told me. I tied her up." Let him witness his wife being devoured by monsters. Fi Wei, with a cigarette in his mouth, laughed loudly, saying, "Good, good." At that moment, Bang Tu handed a gold-plated watch to Fi Wei. "The boss of this old man isn't too shabby. I found this nearly new Rolex." Fi Wei said to him, "You've worked hard. Just take it and use it." Bang Tu immediately patted his head, smiling flatteringly. "Yes, then I'll respectfully obey. Thank you, boss." On this side, the group of angels drove away quickly. Thientun asked, having never heard of Cao Fi before. Cao Fi explained, "He's a competitor of my father's company." Then Cao Fi shared some brief information about him. "This guy has a criminal record. He's a notorious figure in the underworld. In short, he's a thief and a robber. He had backing, but still lost to my father. He dealt in smuggled cigarettes and fake liquor, and my father caught him and reported him to the police. In the end, he ended up in prison. In short, he's the only one with a grudge against my father." Thientun understood after hearing this. In this situation, if someone came to your house to rob it, would mostly be for food, low-quality weapons. No one would go as far as to hang someone up for monsters to eat. This has to be an act of revenge. Thientun asked again to confirm. "There's a reason behind this. Right, he's the only one with a grudge against your parents." Cao Fi, with a grim face, affirmed, "My parents are very easygoing and friendly. It must be that bastard Fi Wei. No one else would do this." After that, Thientun immediately slammed on the brakes. He decisively turned the car around. Moments later, he sternly asked Cao Fi, "All right, give me the map." On the map, there were 3 locations marked in red by Thientun. "I've marked 3 locations," he said while driving. "Now let's head there." Lam Sa looked at the map and curiously asked, "The dam, the flour mill, and the ancient city. Why these 3 places?" Thientun shared his theory. 2 weeks have passed since the disaster. These 3 places in Kwandi are the only shelters left with survivors. Cao Fi gritted his teeth in anger, saying, "What about Fi Wei? Where is he?" Thientun replied, "We don't know exactly where he is yet, but finding him is just a matter of time." Then he turned to Cao Fi and asked, "Which building here is the tallest?" A moment later, they arrived at a towering building. Suddenly, a zombie lunged at them. It seemed like it had just been kicked in the stomach. It turned out that kick was from Cao Fi. His entire body was now radiating a dark negative energy. Thientun quietly observed Cao Fi, without saying a word. At this moment, Lam Sa, a bit worried, asked, "Hey, Thientun, is Cao Fi going to be okay?" Looking at Cao Fi's back, Thientun answered her question. "Right now, we can't help him. The monsters Cao Fi takes down are scattered all over the stairs." Thientun continued, "Let him fight freely. Consider it training." After that, the 3 of them reached the rooftop where Thientun looked over the entire city from above. He then said with satisfaction, "This place is indeed not bad. From here, you can clearly see the dam, and you can also observe the other 2 locations." Cao Fi, using binoculars to scout from afar, discovered something. He immediately confirmed, "It's them." Thientun asked again, "Have you seen your father?" Cao Fi handed the binoculars to Thientun, replying, "Look over there." Cao Fi handed the binoculars to the angel, saying, "Look over there." The angel looked through the binoculars, puzzled. "Is that a flour mill?" Cao Fi replied, "Right. Do you see that white vehicle?" The angel looked straight down at the flour mill while hearing Cao Fi's voice. "That car belongs to my father. They must have taken him after killing my mother." The angel immediately analyzed the situation. It seemed that breaking in wouldn't be easy. Feng Bi was really cautious. If we're not careful and get caught, it could turn into a bad situation. Cao Fi angrily slammed his hand on the railing, filled with resentment. Even if I die, I will kill all of you. The angel saw this and put an arm around Cao Fi's shoulder, reminding him to stay calm. I didn't bring you here for you to self-destruct. You need to calm down if you want to save your father. Lam Sa cheerfully turned to cut through the gloomy atmosphere between the two of them. You two look over there, the angel asked. What's going on? The girl pointed ahead, urging, quickly. The angel and Lam Sa widened their eyes at what had just landed. It turned out to be supplies. A package had just been dropped by a plane. Because a week after the outbreak, many countries' governments began sending supplies. Our country was one of the first to receive relief packages. The angel immediately picked up a knife to prepare to open the supplies. Let's see what our luck holds. Let's open it. Hopefully there's something useful. After opening the supply box, inside were a few cans, probably food, and something very important, a lot of ammunition. Great. The angel pulled out a gun from the wooden box. He picked it up to examine it. Not bad, a Type 56 automatic rifle. It can shoot up to 500 meters. Then the angel handed the rifle to Cao Fi. Use this. This is definitely suitable for your enhanced eyesight. Next, the angel rummaged through the box with Lam Sa. Let me see if there's anything else useful. The angel's eyes widened in surprise. This is a high-quality scope. What luck. Then the angel handed the scope to Cao Fi. You know how to use this right. A moment later, after the sound of assembling the gun stopped, Cao Fi admired the fancy rifle in his hands. The angel spoke up, Lam Sa and I will go ahead. You stay here. Cao Fi was stunned for a few seconds. Then he pouted and said loudly, Stay here! What do you mean? What are you saying? I'm the one who should take revenge on them. The angel calmly lit a cigarette and replied, We're friends. Your enemies are my enemies too. The angel turned his back to Cao Fi, reminding him to use the gun well. Then you can take your revenge. Cao Fi moved, hugged the gun tightly. He declared, I won't forget this favor, angel. The angel replied, Once you're brothers for life. Don't hesitate. At the entrance of the flour mill, a few figures were on guard. At this moment, the three of them were hiding behind a vehicle, quietly observing. The angel asked, Do you see anything, Fi? Cao Fi's eyes lit up as he replied, I can see now. My eyesight can completely observe in the dark. Cao Fi looked at the enemies in sight and said, 3 of them all armed. He scrutinized the guns the enemies were holding and found it strange. They only have Type 97 rifles. They should have received more weapons than this. Lam Sa puffed her cheeks and complained, 3 guns. We definitely need a plan. Suddenly, the angel stood up. To Lam Sa's surprise, she reminded him, What are you doing? Quickly get down. They'll spot us now. The angel explains, Just wait until she evolves to stage 1, then you'll understand. In situations like this, there's no need for a plan. Saying that you confidently step forward. The chubby guy in black is one of the 3 gatekeepers. He's slumped over with his gun. The guy in the floral shirt is half asleep, groaning. Night watch really is tough. The guy in blue next to him is so sleepy, he's yawning, tears streaming down his face. He just wants to sleep a little, but there are monsters all around, so he can't doze off. A moment later, the guy in blue suddenly stops yawning. Then he points down below. The chubby guy quickly turns the light in that direction. The monsters, when the light shines directly on the angel, finally realize it's a human. The guy in blue immediately shouts, Hey, what are you doing? The chubby guy also raises his gun threateningly, saying, Stop, or we'll shoot. But the angel doesn't back down and stands still. The guy in the floral shirt also aims his gun at the angel. What the hell? Surprisingly, just a moment later, he takes a bullet to the head from Cao Fi, who is providing support from afar. He falls to the ground, shocking the other 2. At this moment, they realize too late that Cao Fi has quietly taken care of one of them. At the same time, the angel begins to kneel to gain momentum. Then he immediately leaps up onto the gate's roof. He lands neatly right where the enemies are standing, the chubby guy in black and the guy in blue. They react quickly. They intend to use their guns to hit the angel directly. In that dangerous situation, the angel remains incredibly calm because just a second later, he easily grabs the collars of both of them. At the same time, the angel pulls hard, causing them to slam into each other. The 2 guns in their hands immediately fall to the ground. Next, he glances over at Cao Fi. Then both of them signal that they've succeeded. The angel quickly picks up all 3 guns Model 97 and brings them to Lamsa and Cao Fi to take. The folks inside must have heard the commotion by now. After saying that, the angel turns to leave. "I'll be back soon, so be careful." Cao Fi firmly grips the gun in his hand and replies, "Don't worry, my eyes are set. I'll kill every last one of them, and they won't escape." Inside the workshop, Fai Wei is roughly squeezing a pair of ripe pears. A seductive girl is sitting on him, feeding him grapes. "You're really such a jerk," she says suddenly. Just then, his subordinate Kim bursts in to report, "Boss, there's trouble." Fai Wei is fixated on the 2 pears in front of him and coldly asks, "Hurry up and speak." Kim quickly reports, "We've been attacked." Fai Wei is startled, sitting up, pushing the girl off him, and loudly asking, "Attacked by who? Is it Lam Than?" Kim grits his teeth and replies, "I don't know. All I know is there's a sniper. We've already lost 4 people." Fai Wei hurriedly puts on his clothes and asks again, "A sniper." Fai Wei hurriedly put on his clothes and asked, "Sniper." He cursed angrily with the fateful word. Then he immediately ordered to quickly gather all the brothers. It was urgent, and outside the gate, everything was completely silent. A few of the thugs were hiding behind the gate. The bald guy turned to the person next to him and said, "Hey, you should go over there and check it out." The guy with hair immediately refused. "You want to kill me?" "I want to live a few more years." The bald guy scoffed. "You useless piece of trash. I don't believe there's any monster or anyone who dares to come here." But just as he poked his head out, a bullet flew through his head. In an instant, he staggered and fell down, much to the surprise of the guy with hair. Cao Fi still remembered the number of enemies he had taken down, 5 guys. Inside, Fai Wei was observing with binoculars. Seeing everything, he cursed angrily. "Damn it." Then he asked his henchman, "How many of them are there anyway?" The guy hesitated and replied, I don't know." Fai Wei slapped his subordinate hard. "You useless piece of trash, did I keep you around for this?" He shouted, "All brothers go now." Immediately, many footsteps rushed to follow the order of the deputy. Cao Fi looked through the scope of his gun and knew the situation. This time, it was not good. Lam Sa anxiously asked, "What's going on?" The henchman of Fai Wei rushed forward. Cao Fi warned, "They're coming." Lam Sa saw a line of dark shadows rushing towards them. The girl panicked a bit and said, "There are too many." "What do we do now?" Cao Fi replied without hesitation, "Run right now." The 2 of them used all their strength to quickly run away from there. One of them recognized them and immediately pointed in that direction. "Look over there, it's them." Then he shouted, "Hurry, chase after them." At the same time, the figure of an angel appeared on the rooftop. The 2 henchmen here were still quite interested in the situation. The guy in black, while smoking, said, "I just heard gunshots. There must be a fight at the main gate." The red-haired guy replied while puffing on his cigarette, "Looks like it's Lam Than again." He keeps thinking he's the police making things difficult for the boss. Looks like there's going to be a fight. The black-haired guy said, "But it seems the boss only caught the old man, the one named Cow Tree." The red-haired guy laughed loudly. "You really keep an ear out." The black-haired guy replied proudly, "What else is there to say?" The angel jumped down from his spot. The black-haired guy quickly stiffened. "Who are you?" The angel appeared between the 2 of them. They ordered, "Don't move or scream. If you do, I'll pull the trigger." The angel pressed the sharp knife against their backs. "This is called the spine right." The 2 guys looked at the angel as if they were seeing a ghost. He continued, "I didn't study medicine, but I know that if I stab here, plants can't run away." Saying that, the angel looked at the black-haired guy and smiled friendly. "Why don't you try first?" He turned pale with fear and stammered, "No, I don't want to." Once he successfully threatened them, the angel immediately got to the point. "I have 3 questions I want you to answer. Is Cow Tree still alive? Where is he? Who is Lam Than?" The guy in black hesitated at this. The angel looked at him with sharp eyes and ordered. That henchman was terrified by the angel's killing intent. He said, "Cow Tree is still alive, locked up in the factory's workshop." The angel asked, "Which workshop?" Then he pointed at a nearby building and said, "Over there on the other side." At this moment, the guy in the black shirt was so scared he wet his pants. But the angel continued to ask, "So who is Lam Than?" The guy in the black shirt replied, "He's from the county police department." He's capable, the red-haired guy added. He helped the police find the hideout in the ancient city wall, talking about building a new civilization. The angel thought for a moment after hearing this. Lum Ten, I've never heard of this character before. Then the next moment he said, I have one last question for you. They replied, go ahead, ask away. We definitely won't hide anything. The angel shot a cold glance and said, how do you want to die? At that moment, the two subordinates of Fai Wei were shocked, realizing they couldn't escape. It was also the moment when blood dripped from the dagger in the angel's hand. The red-haired guy was face down on the ground, blood soaking his side. At that moment, the angel looked towards the workshop they had just pointed to. He immediately decided to go save the people first. The angel arrived in the blink of an eye. This must be the place. He stood in front of the workshop but still felt uneasy. Why does this workshop feel so strange? Suddenly, the angel heard Fei Wei's subordinates whispering about that kid Chao Chi. Even if he doesn't die, he must be crazy by now. Two subordinates were walking together, and the long-haired guy replied, if it were me in this place, I wouldn't last a day. The pink-haired guy kicked the wall a few times and said, I never expected the boss would find this cursed place. The long-haired guy reminded him, stop talking so much. Are you looking for trouble? At that moment, the angel stepped out from behind. He looked up and observed the workshop again, confirming that this place indeed had issues. Then the angel placed his hand on the door and felt it. 789. Feeling the patterns. He closed his eyes and focused, but just a moment later, he opened his eyes wide in surprise. This is the angel sensing Cao Chi inside, hanging on a small board. Below that fragile board, there were all zombies. Cao Chi was trembling all over, his eyes filled with fear as he looked at the scene before him. It was late at night now. On the other side, the crowd of subordinates from earlier were chasing after him. Cao Fi and Lam Sa were gathered in front of the workshop. The four-eyed guy turned and asked boldly, who goes in first? The red-shirted guy answered fiercely, what do you mean? If we all go in together, he can wipe us all out. The young guy with the chin was a bit cautious. What if there's an ambush in there? You never know, this guy might be waiting for us up there. The red-shirted guy replied, if we can't take him down, the boss won't spare us. So they gradually entered inside. The red-shirted guy led the way, followed by the young guy and the four-eyed guy. Suddenly, a bullet smoothly pierced through the head of the young guy without anyone noticing. Cao Fi looked through the scope. 6 of them were still not enough. From the scope, it could be seen that when the young guy fell, they finally realized. Cao Fi looked at them and said, you all have to die. The red-shirted guy immediately spotted Cao Fi and shouted, he's up there! Right after that, a series of gunshots rang out towards Cao Fi. He remained calm, glanced at them, and snorted coldly. The subordinates immediately chased after him up the stairs. Up on the floor, he was all alone. Meanwhile, Fai Wei had lost his patience waiting. Oh my God, I can't hold back anymore. Up on the floor, he was all alone. Meanwhile, Fai Wei had lost his patience waiting. Oh my God, I can't hold back anymore. Fai Wei turned to his subordinates and ordered, gather another group. Catch him. If you can't kill him, don't come back. They all responded in unison, yes. The sound of hurried footsteps rushed in. Boss, it's not good. Fai Wei angrily shouted, what's wrong? One of the lackeys reported, all the guys guarding the factory are dead. Fai Wei furrowed his brow veins popping on his forehead. What the hell? He gritted his teeth and said, Akeem, take some men and follow me. Akeem replied, yes. Meanwhile, on the angel's side, he smashed the glass with his bare hands. After breaking a hole, he looked down from the ceiling and saw Chao Tree sitting there in a daze. The angel quickly called out, Uncle Chow, Uncle Chow. He looked up at the angel. The angel quickly explained, I'm a classmate of Chao Fi. My name is Ta Thien Thun. Cao Tree's eyes now held no light. He unconsciously repeated, Chao Fi Ta Thien Thun. The angel said, sorry for the intrusion. Then he dropped a rope down. The angel slowly climbed down using the rope. He safely landed on the wooden board. The angel spread his arms to balance himself and looked down at the zombie, mumbling about breaking it. The angel reached out to Cao Tree saying, Uncle Chow, I'm here to save you. He looked at the hand in front of him and suddenly panicked. Cao Tree backed away, pleading, please don't come here. Don't come any closer. He backed up to the edge of the wooden board, causing it to tilt. The angel shouted, Uncle Cow, stop. The angel immediately jumped on Cow Tree, pinning him down. "It's dangerous. Don't move." At that moment, he realized that the man had been tortured to the point of mental instability. Cow Tree kept trembling, and the angel thought, "No wonder people in a place like this go insane." With that thought, he decisively struck his neck. "Sorry." Cow Tree immediately passed out. Just then, Fiwi and his men arrived. Each of them was armed. The angel glanced over, feeling a sense of urgency. No matter the name, holding a gun in hand, the angel casts a quick glance. The group approached, led by Fiwi. He wore a wide grin that stretched from ear to ear. "Not bad, kid, you've got some guts." The angel and the wise one were surrounded by Fiwi's subordinates. He raised his voice. "You dare to save someone in front of me." The angel, unfazed, grew even more serious and asked, "So you're Fiwi?" A terrifying aura radiated around him. "So, just when I was worried I couldn't find you,